We'll just wait around here. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I just had to play the fucking music.
Okay. So do I need to? I don't think I need to do anything. I just sit here and wait.
You just go over to the other one, I think.
Will I have to go to a new one?
Yeah, I started. Well, yeah, I didn't restart the old one.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. It like wouldn't let me for whatever reason. Probably what Brett said. Whoops. It'll be easier to say hello to you people. Miss Joe, Jessica S, DJ Moore. Yeah, I just started a new one.
But you're asking a lot of people, like you got to click over here.
Lady Witch. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have played that video. But you know,
It hadn't popped up for me yet.
sharing, hey Dave, is caring, you know, or whatever. It's not like I'm making any money off of this shit.
No.
Fucking YouTube. Or whatever. I don't know. Sugar Crits.
Babe, I don't have the new link if you send a new link.
No, you just got to go to my channel.
I did go to your channel, but it's not popping up for me.
Blue Eyes. Hello. I gotta.
This is my personal laptop. It sucks.
Let me see here. Copy. Paste.
You're gonna paste it in there.
Well, this is the StreamYard link. Are you? Is that other chat? Is that other chat still open?
Okay.
Jay Bizzle.
I got the sorry, y'all.
Okay, you're in there?
Yeah, I'm in there now.
No. Yeah, clearly I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, what does it matter? It's fucking YouTube.
I know. No. I don't have people sending me death threats and calling my mom and chasing me around on the streets, setting up trail cams and stalking me and committing federal.
I did eat all of your oatmeal cookies. I mean, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's harassment right there.
Yeah, but
for somebody that has no fucking dictionary.
Yeah. Utter harassment. Utter harassment. Thank you, Sugar Crits. Yeah, I don't have any of that going on. I didn't.
You didn't try to spam anybody today? Are you sure?
No.
You didn't lie to anybody today?
No, I didn't lie to anybody today.
You're doing it all wrong.
Yeah, I.
DJ Moore said you better turn it up a notch then.
Yeah, I've been pretty boring. Yeah, trail cams.
Oh, you have to explain to Lady Witch what's going on.
Yeah, we've got some. Well, I say we. I don't. The community that Rebel so desperately wants to be accepted in. You know, there's some trail cams set up like right in the middle of a busy town square to watch his every move. You know.
And for the new people here, I'm just going to apologize now. I have no filter, and sometimes I don't know when to shut the fuck up. So it'll be a little annoying.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything.
It's because you're smart.
Oh my God, what's that cigarette ash doing on my laptop? Yeah, he hasn't found the cams in his house yet. Well, that's why that one, that's not a can light above his head. That's actually a cam light. That's cam with an M. Oh wait, I meant to. Hang on a second. I meant to.
Let me let Abby out. She's being demanding.
Well, why won't that pin? Did that pin the link?
I saw it when I first came in. Give me a second.
What the fuck?
Come on, baby. He's busy.
Yes, I want to ban myself and delete all my comments. I don't know. I'll have to. Let's see. Just got home from physical therapy. Time to chill and hang out and smoke a little. Well, that sounds good. Duff man, welcome. Welcome you all to my boring ass Friday night stream. Just felt like bullshitting for a little while. I gotta go tomorrow and I gotta help this girl that I know uh, replace the water pump on her car. Uh, I was trying to help her out with her clutch uh, a few weeks back, and she does not take care of this car. She barely takes care of herself.
So people are, of course, naturally wondering, why did you offer to help her?
Yeah, well, the reason I offered to help her was because I felt sorry for her. And no, God, no, not trailer person. Fuck no, Bam. Not trailer person. Just slightly not as bad as trailer person. Um, anyways, the fucking water pump. Oh my God. Like, I was trying to help out with the clutch, and it's a 2006 Mazda 6 wagon. And while I was trying to engage and disengage the slave cylinder for the clutch, the fucking plastic thermostat housing or something on the fucking water pump just shattered into a million pieces because she's been driving the car without fucking coolant and shit for God knows how long. That's why the fucking transmission's not working right. Blah, blah, blah. Anywho, I was like, well, to fix the slave cylinder, you have to take all that shit off anyways. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So, but it's a lot of stuff to do. I need new jeans, new boots, and a few other things. Want to give me $1,000,000 to help me out. Easy touch. Hello, Voodoo, my love. Are you putting in a water pump for your best friend Ellen? No.
Ooh.
Well, she's got to have a car. Well, and that would be a long ass drive. I have to work. Water pump. That's actually kind of funny when you think about it. Are you running the water? Oh my God, Costa! What is happening?
He sounds like he lost his ever loving mind. He just could not reply to her. There were no English words coming out of his mouth. I thought that was
Jay Bizzle, I'd probably should, but I'm not going to. I mean, I don't know.
Dave.
I don't know. Connie was not taking a shower. But why was he on live? That's what I don't understand.
I find that so disturbing. That's so disturbing.
He was live in the bathroom running the water. And, yeah.
We'll have to find that for you, Bam and Witch. Y'all would laugh your ass off.
It was horrible. Well, apparently, so why the fuck didn't that comment pin? I don't understand.
I can't see pins right now on the laptop. Well, I mean, it just looks like you have
okay,
show. I guess.
I guess that's pinned. Ugh, I don't know if I should let her up.
Is it Bam?
Yeah. What's up?
My fist and your gob. If I hear any more cheek like that, you're not sure you'll let me up. Is that right? I shall be at the door on Sunday, and we'll see what you're going to say then. No, listen, I'm not going to hijack it. Hi, everyone in chat. But I am going to say this, and it has really bothered me. It has really, really bothered me.
I don't know.
COVID shared something yesterday, or
Yeah,
maybe the day before. And this fucker's sitting there, part of my language on your channel.
that's
I
okay.
need $110.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, as I brought up the other night, and I hope you don't mind, Photo, but he owes you money because he ripped you off. This genius whiz computer guy that knew damn well I was using an iPhone and couldn't upload what he put together, and he overcharged you for it. So he does owe you your money back. Um, the other thing is, you guys know how hard we work to put content out on my channel. How many times have you guys helped?
Mm.
And it's not taking you 2 minutes, it's taking you a couple of hours to go looking back and forth for things.
Yeah.
And we don't sit there saying, we need this and we need that. And yeah, like I said, I do need new jeans and new boots. But I've got a kid here that's going to work every day that needs them more than me. So is this what we're doing now? We're just coming off with lists of what we want.
Oh, it's bad. It's really it's like that almost every time when I watched him, and I there's still a part of me that I want to kick my own ass,
Mm-hmm.
believe in anything that he said that he actually needed help, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
that's me. That's on me. I'm a grown adult, you know, and I didn't put out more than I could
That
throw.
didn't listen to her friend. Oh, sorry, who said that?
Oh, okay,
Where did
okay.
that come from?
No, little mouse.
It must have been.
Mm.
It must have been a little mouse.
Must have been that little mouse, yeah.
A little mouse with horns. But he does it all the freaking time. I mean, it's so old, but the entitlement
Yeah,
from him,
yeah.
it's he thinks he keeps going on about what he's worth. It's like, dude, you don't put out anything. You know, you don't do anything.
He's worth his weight in shit. That's what
Yes,
he's worth.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
He needs
So,
to watch what he's saying, because I don't want to say what I'm thinking here, but I'm sure you two know exactly where my mind is at present. But he needs to watch his fucking mouth,
mm.
with this tagging me. Don't be tagging me and you're begging, and quit your threats about putting us in jail. Because if you had 100 fucking years, I promise you, I would outsmart any loser that takes you on as a client. And I'd make sure that myself and my friends are given a restraining order against you, Connie. You sitting there fucking begging, I need $110. I've got a child who's got a broken fucking back and he's driving himself to work every day, working for 12 hours a day and working one day every other week at weekends.
No, he can't do that. He's not capable. He claims to be so tough, and then
Mm-hmm.
talk about getting his feelings hurt, and then he
Mm-hmm.
vile shit about people, and then he says, "What's the big deal? It's just words." I would like to have not just words with him. I would love
Mm-hmm.
to see him face to face. I would
Me too.
love to.
My eldest son, he's got a couple of black belts in mixed martial arts, and he used to represent his regiment in the armed forces in Rage in a Cage. So he'd be
Well,
up to talk to you anytime at all, anytime that you like. Not rabbit, sorry, rebel,
well,
Connie.
to be fair, I mean, I really don't expect him to change his position at all. I mean, he's really not in a workable position.
Eh,
He has no choice.
act like
He
bullshit.
he knows what he wants to do. We all know what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So really what it is it's at a complete standstill. There he's not going to change. The only way that he changes is he's out on the street, and then he probably still won't change.
No.
Um, change won't occur with him until probably he starts, drinking, which will drive his constitution and his will, and whatever little shred of anything he has left that will get ground up and shit out all over the fucking sidewalk, and that may happen to him 2 or 3 times uh, before any actual real change comes about. Ellen has to be out of his life
Oh yeah.
for any real change. So,
It's the look, though. It's the way. It's that expectant look on his face.
Oh yeah.
And as I say, I've got a kid who's in agony with a broken vertebra, driving himself to work and back home from work for 12-hour shifts every day. So does Griffin just stop working and come on YouTube and say, well, I need X amount of pounds this week because, I can't be bothered going to work? Why should my kid with a broken back go to work and this fucker sits demanding money off people?
well, see,
Is
that's
he
what I'm
putting out
saying.
any content to do it? Sorry, Cloud.
Rebel would say no, he doesn't have the right to do that, because then that would be taking money from Rebel.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rebel. I've reported you, and I've reported you to the legal department on YouTube because that's against the terms and conditions and the terms of service. So if you get demonetized or you get your channel taken down, it was me that done it. Anytime that you want to take that up with me, you fucking feel free to get in touch with me. But don't be coming into my live stream trying to abuse any of us, because what you're going to find is all of us are way smarter than what you and your mother and whatever rats and cockroaches that live in your apartment are, all of you's brains put together. You can face me one-on-one on a panel. And you can explain why you stole money from my friend and why you've threatened me and all my other friends with prison, and why you're sitting on there tagging me, but you're putting your face up the next day, your face that looks like Wesley fucking Allen Dodd. Have you had a DNA test and checked who your dad is?
That's a touchy subject.
Well, I tell you what, they sound alike, they look alike, and they kind of got the same fucking attitude. So if it were me, I would be flying down to that DNA place. Fucking flying feet of flames. The pair of them are like twins. So bring it on, anytime. Anytime, but don't you dare sit there begging while you've got me tagged on anything to do with your channel. And yeah, if you get into shit with YouTube and Google, it was me that done it. Feel free to take it up with me any fucking time that you like.
Mm.
I eat people like you for breakfast and shit you out at lunch.
Mm.
You saw I timed her out.
I wouldn't eat him. He's nasty.
Oh yeah.
Do you mind if Liz comes up?
I'll get off.
Are you sure?
Voodoo,
Friendly.
I'll catch up with you in a bit, Voodoo, all right, love?
Okay, honey. I just got to bring the dog to the groomer in the morning, and I'm free all day.
All right, okay.
All right, Ben. We'll holler at you
All right.
tomorrow. Love you millions.
I love you more. See
All
you
right.
later. Bye.
Hey, Liz. How are you?
Hi.
Hey.
How are y'all?
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Well, you look cute.
Oh, thanks. I'm off from work, so I'm in a t-shirt and old scrub pants.
Yeah. Whatever works. Clean and comfortable.
Yep. So, well, I feel like we finally had real success this week.
Yeah.
I mean, because we spearheaded all of this a year ago, drying his donations up. I mean, and I really have. I have shouted it from the rooftops to anyone who will listen about him, because I have never donated to him. So he has not screwed me in that way. I don't care what he says. He is not somebody I would ever give money to. I don't make donations. You can ask anybody around the community. I'm not part of the dono pool. So, so whatever he says, that's a lie.
Yeah.
I've never donated to him.
No,
Uh,
everything he says is a lie.
but in the beginning, I really did want to try to help him. And the way I went about it was I tried to be nice to him. I tried to be civil with him, and he does not remember any of that. And the reason why he does not remember is because there was no money accompanying that kindness.
Mm.
Mm.
I pretty much knew it was going to be that way, but it was a strategy that I had to take so that when I made myself in a position where he would notice me, like I began to last year, there were people like Rosallusion that will tell you I was one of the last. I watched him for 2 years before I finally said that I've had enough. I have had enough. And, you know, he doesn't get it. I
Yeah.
don't, he's all like I said, he's always going on about my life is only worth $30.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what anybody's saying, dude. And you're going to have to find worth within yourself, not according to how many donos you get.
And I don't ever recall sending him a donation and saying, please send me your soul. No, get the fuck out of here. He's just, it's the same grift. I see it now, the repetitive, um,
Groundhog Day.
yeah, it's the same threats, it's the same problem, it's the same people, or maybe it's the same problem aimed at different people. It doesn't matter.
Well, when Richard was running back the notorious slap live stream, he I hadn't caught it the first few times I listened to it, but he threw the script right back in Ellen's face and told her she was keeping him from getting a job and basically violating his rights and all of that shit. I mean, it was the exact same thing. He threw it right back at her, and it was like, what? you, you don't even argue with your mom, with anything
No.
new and unheard of, but whatever. I don't
It's
know.
this weird self-loathing that he projects upon everybody else, and I, honest to God, think all of it is part of the grift. I think he taught her to grift, and I think he started it, and he does it sometimes
Oh,
against
I
his
don't
will.
know. I think it's the other way around.
Oh no! Have you ever tried to find anything on Ellen? You can't find her anywhere.
I don't know. She made herself, he's always going on about his poor mother, his poor mother. You talk about my mother, you talk about my mother. Well, your mother's part of the shit, my guy. She is. Anytime she's ever showed up on panel, called us a bunch of cheap fucks, voiced her expectations, she has made herself part of this community. Her expectations make her part of it. And therefore, if I want to call her a cheese hog racist bitch, I will do so.
Yeah, and he perpetuated that by putting her on. Um,
And for all of his going on about his sainted grandmother, I feel I have come to the conclusion that she was also part of the problem because I
oh,
feel
absolutely.
that she gave him everything he wanted, and likely did Ellen too, for that matter.
Yep.
And as a result, these two are cast adrift in a world without her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
They don't know how to grow up, buck up, and shut the fuck up.
No. No. It's not. I think she's a million times tougher than her, and he said that before. But I really am not concerned with her. I don't want anybody else to go down the same road
Get fleeced.
that I did, that maybe they can't afford to do that, and they really think that they're helping somebody that has been in poverty their entire lives, that's stuck in a mindset, that has a mental illness. I do not think any of that anymore.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
I What's he going to do in 48 hours? He's now overdrawn his mother's bank account.
Well, you can't. I mean, to me, you can't believe anything he says
No,
about that.
I don't believe a damn thing that comes out of his mouth.
You know, I mean, he goes and he was also sitting in that pizzeria, this afternoon, also, right? I mean, and then there's the clothes that he's wearing. Yeah, he's been wearing the same sweatshirt for 3 weeks straight, but the New Balance jacket. I don't know. I don't think he's as bad off as they let on.
Hell no. When I was in college, I was fucking broke and I worked full time. My
Yeah.
confidence came from McDonald's and Taco Bell. He doesn't have a goddamn clue what it's like to struggle.
His come from Ellen's purse.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't know what it's like to do without. He hadn't had to do without. Not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And I have, after talking to some people, I found out more about him and Ellen and their stint as homeless. I have found out that it wasn't just endless, endless, endless nights of them sleeping in the car. Most of the time, they weren't even in the car. They were in an extended stay hotel.
Yeah.
That shit about them having to sleep in a car. We were homeless. We were thrown out like animals. How many people get evicted and have $10,000?
Yeah.
Them.
And
Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and the fact that they only had 10 and not 30, that's on them. I mean, this is a case of them refusing to put the ball as it lies. They refused to accept that house was not theirs, that house belonged to Ellen's mother.
Yeah.
And as a result, when Ellen's mother went to the nursing home, that house then became seized by the state to cover her last living expenses in the nursing home.
Okay,
Are
so
you
does
sure
that
about
does that happen in Massachusetts? Because
Yes,
in
absolutely.
Texas, the person. Okay, if that situation had happened in Texas, uh, the the person that lies intestate, basically, which would be Mary, still alive, she would have had to have some sort of medical diagnosis to where basically she was going to be put on life support or couldn't, like in some scenario where she couldn't make decisions for herself. So her next of kin at that point would have had to have signed her over as a ward of the state in order for the state to be
And
able to
that
put a
may have
lien.
happened courtesy of Ellen's sister.
Okay.
Because if you listen to the Lawless video, Bedtime Clown,
Yeah.
there's talk of some stuff with Ellen's sister. And then she tried to say, but that's another story. And Brittany interjected and said, no, that's part of the story.
Mm.
So whatever happened there, the house was taken by the state to cover Mary's living expenses at the nursing home.
Okay.
And they would not accept it. They squatted. They
Yeah.
stayed there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they weren't
Yeah.
supposed to. And they talk about being thrown out like dogs. I mean, they were given thousands of dollars. What they
Okay.
chose to
So
do.
who? Okay. So what Dave just said. Ellen's sister was in charge of the estate, so she was the executor of the estate.
Yes.
So okay. So who offered them the money to leave? Was it the state or was it the executor?
I'm not certain of that part of things.
I,
But it was
but I wonder because in most states, I thought Medicare, is it Medicaid? No, Medicaid, I always get them confused, would pay for her nursing home. That's not the case in Massachusetts.
Um, I don't. I don't know. Well,
Well, I guess it's
yeah, they what happens in Texas is they basically, like, if you've got somebody that's on SSI, which they're usually at that point on SSDI as well. From what I know, what little bit I know about it, they'll you're basically signing that government check
Yeah.
over to the nursing facility.
That's what happens in Louisiana. It is taken directly, and what is it? Care for the indigent, aid for the elderly. But I might have it backwards. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, something like that.
But
there was there was some there was something else that I noticed about the video, and it was not the lawless video. It was the video where he gets his ass beat by his mom,
yeah,
where they're talking about how where he's going off on her for using heroin for 16 years, and then everybody felt sorry for her because she had an aneurysm when he was 18 years old. Everybody needs to pay real close attention to that,
But see,
because
uh,
that was the grift, the GoFundMe that he made that got
yeah,
taken down, saying my poor mother has a brain aneurysm and needs surgery. She had the aneurysm when Connie was 18 years old. She had had it years before, and that's where the grift came in. Now, when he gets all mad and says, "My mother did too have an aneurysm," that's see, he's using parts of the truth to create a lie, to create the grift.
yeah. Okay, Dirt Guy and Dave. Dirt Guy, what gets missed in that video is Mary was living with Ellen's sister. Nobody seems to question why. Well, I would suspect because Mary wasn't capable of making, conducive decisions
And
to,
probably because those two weren't
decent
taking
quality
proper
of life.
care of her.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
They
Dave,
can't take care of themselves.
Dave said,
right.
in my state, any assets will go to pay final expenses. Okay, what I want to say about that in Texas. Okay, now
It varies from state to state.
I would have to see their will, Mary's will.
No, it varies from state to state.
I know it varies from state to state, but I would have to see Mary's will. And okay, so Ellen's sister was the executor of the will, but in Texas, which I know is not Massachusetts,
Thank God.
anybody else that's listed as a next of kin or a next of kin of next of kin who is named in a will can contest a will. Okay, before it ever reaches probate, you can file paperwork to contest a will. Now, also, a lot of people that were, say, Mary's age or maybe just like 10 or 15 years younger than Mary, like, say, 50 years ago or something, when they had their wills drawn up, it was real popular, and it probably still is. I don't know. But, it was real popular back then to have the verbiage put into the will that if anybody contests this will, usually when you have like multiple, beneficiaries in a will, they don't want anybody to contest it, or they would only receive $1 from the estate, right? So the way, and I'm sure this is going to burn a hole in Connie and Ellen's ass when they hear this, but one way, at least if it was in Texas, that they could have stayed in that house damn near fucking indefinitely, especially if somebody else had bought that house from the state and then offered them that money, was they could have contested Mary's or Ellen's sister's mental state to actually execute the will. And if they were able to draw it out long enough, they could have bled her out monetarily until she had no more money to fight and deemed it not worth it. But they would have had to have also kept up with the taxes on the property.
Yeah.
Now that's how you fucking squat. But it sounds to me like they didn't do that. Because like in what Richard was playing today, I heard him say, I heard him say a court case, a court.
Bedtime cloud is violating my rights.
Oh, is he saying that?
We're all
That's
violating.
the name of his stream. You know, this week he's been saying a whole lot of shit, y'all. He was talking about how
God.
when he was working during that snowball in hell period of time,
Yeah,
he was talking about how if he worked, he would have to pay, he would have to report his income, and he would have bills, and he wouldn't have as much as he'd like to spend on cigarettes and bud.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, when I heard that, my jaw just dropped. I was like, okay, Connie. So if you worked, you would have to report your income to the IRS, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you would have bills and adult responsibilities, and you wouldn't be able to spend as much money on fun stuff as you like. And guess what, Connie? That makes you just like everybody fucking else. You motherfucker. Hate him.
What makes me
Squids.
I know, I saw. What makes me sick is when I think about how much I pay in taxes and it goes to people like him,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it is.
I
It
wouldn't
is.
have as much money as I'd like to spend on cigarettes and bud. I mean, that's all he ever thinks about. And then he tries to front like, that's not all I want. It's not all I want. And him screaming about how I'm young and I have a future. He squandered his future. I still
Yeah.
want the answer. Why did you not work from age 18 until 28? Why?
I.
Because he had Mary to give him everything he wants. So he didn't have to. He was the baby. He was spoiled and coddled.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, just give me a fucking break. Give me a break. Pull on your God. You know, if Ghost wanted to send him something, he should have sent him some pull ups to get him the fuck out of the Pampers.
Mm, yeah. I,
Well, that would require him changing himself, and that's effort, and we know he doesn't have any effort.
No, he doesn't want to put any effort into anything. He doesn't even want to take the effort to apply for his own assistance. But I do have to wonder, the numbers are just not adding up. He's always got a way to come to the rescue, whether it's mom squatch or what. I mean, he doesn't have to just punt and buck up. So
yeah.
oh,
Yep.
if she's really only getting 700 and something a month with SSI or whatever, then where's it going? And I mean, I'm still of the opinion that the first of the month, when he was talking about my mom had to spend half her check on bills, that was a load of shit. What they did was they went to the dispensary, and I know what the legal limit is in Mass. You can only buy an ounce a day. So what that meant was she bought an ounce and he bought an ounce, and he is calling
Uh,
that bills. Irresponsible junkie fucker.
Yeah. He was
Sorry.
probably
I get real animated about this little ferret. Just
well, and that's my whole thing, Elizabeth, is that he was saying earlier that he doesn't. I mean, maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember now, but he was saying, "I don't have a right to come on here and ask. I don't have a right to come on here and ask for help." Blah blah blah. Hey, dude, look, you can come on here and ask for whatever you fucking want to. In my opinion, what you don't get the right to do or cry about is the response that you get from everybody that observes your behavior, buddy. That's what I mean, you can cry about it, sure, but it doesn't make us bad people because we point and laugh at a moron. That's
yeah,
just all there is to it.
look, I paid for the right. If he wants to go down that fucking road,
Oh, but we don't own him, honey.
no, I don't own him, but I own the right to laugh at his ass.
That's true.
him and his cringe as fuck nickname on one of his little channels, Richard Cheese restreaming Rebs without his consent. Nobody fucking calls you Rebs. And the way you refer to yourself in the third person, you rainbow jigsaw nightmare fuck.
Mm.
Good God.
My favorite is, sorry, I gotta let the dog out.
You're embarrassing Rebel City.
My favorite is when he has therapy time with himself. You know,
It's just word salad though. It's just the
and
same
it's like
endless.
he's trying to talk himself into, I'm okay, it's okay. I imagine that he's rocking back and forth, but actually, if
Oh
he were
yeah.
rocking back and forth, that motherfucker would show it because he's such a freaking con man.
Well, I've got a special little surprise that I'm going to uh, upload onto my channel. the day before his court case.
Ooh.
I've been inspired by Richard Cheese, so
Mm.
yeah.
A little
Something,
preview,
something,
y'all.
something he recently did. Oh, it's not any filming of him or even any blatant harassment of him, but it sure will get under his skin.
Oof. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'll admit it. When he's got that growl going in his voice, and he's like, "You motherfuckers!" I'm like, "Yes, give me more,
Yes.
give me more." But
He
I'm
gets
petty.
so
I'm
angry.
absolutely petty like that.
I know he gets so angry, and it's just
Richard Cheese. Richard Cheese, you are an inspiration, whether,
well,
whether
I
you
have
like
to
it or not.
say, I very much approve of Richard's use of music to mock Connie.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
good. It's very
It's
good.
just perfect. I was sitting at my desk last week, and when he started playing Tomorrow from Annie, I just about died laughing.
He got me the other day, or well, it's been a couple months ago, but I fucking went out to smoke a cigarette at work, and I sat down on the steps and I tuned in because a lot of times I'll listen to music while I'm working here lately, and I hear this fucking music, and I'm like, "Is that dentist office music?" And Richard goes, "That's exactly what I fucking put on." Fucking music from the dentist office. It
Oh,
was perfect too. Oh, it was Rebel playing that. Hilarious.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
it's just yeah, just the way he mocks him with music is fantastic. I am very much a music person and approve.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have seriously considered getting a plane ticket for November 13th, but I have a family member that happens to be their birthday, and so if I chose to go see, the fuck off or fucktard, whatever you want to call him, I think that family member would probably be pretty pissed off.
Yeah. We ain't got time for that bullshit. I got to take my old man to go get his having his knee replaced on the first, and I got to go take him up to
Wow.
Oklahoma City, and then my stepmom, she drives, but she only drives like 2 miles from the house. She doesn't drive any more than that. It's too much for her to handle.
Andrew and Ace, he
And
will be there for the strategy planning meeting.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well,
Yep.
you weren't supposed to let that out. That was supposed
No,
to be
it's okay.
secret Discord only.
All right.
So yeah, nothing's going on in Oklahoma City at all regarding the mob boss and his wife
And
and
planning.
and me. Nothing
Yep.
at all.
No.
So, anyways, yeah, I'm taking. Yeah, I got to take my dad, and she wants me to stay till he comes out of anesthesia. It's only supposed to take a couple hours.
He
But
doesn't understand that him getting donations, that wasn't an agreement. It wasn't a contract. It wasn't a job. And we had the right to come together and decide to put a halt to it
yeah, hundred
because
percent.
it was just over and over and over. And, it's one thing if people just wanted to give him drug money, but I don't think they really do. I don't think that when all of this started, that they ever fathomed that it would be something that would be expected week after week after week after week, ad infinitum. And
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think anybody ever expected that. Furthermore, the way he treats people once he's done with them,
Oh yeah.
or once you can't, or, I just don't want to today.
Well, I said this a while back. I think it was in Richard Cheese's. Him turning on people is part of the grift because that adds to the pool of people that want to kill him, people that have done him wrong, people that have stabbed him in the back. And therefore, it starts up the cycle for the next set of people that feel sorry for him.
And part of the reason I came up here is I knew he would tune in, and I know I trigger him.
oh yeah. I appreciate you coming up. Uh, but yeah, he, I don't know. He says that people didn't give him enough money to get his car fixed and shit. he was actually lying to us, telling us it was only like going to be a few hundred, and it
Yeah.
sounded legit to me because I know a lot about stuff, and and I thought, well, it's probably more like 1,000. We didn't give him that like in one lump sum, and I told Voodoo, I said, he's probably like, we gave him an amount. I think it was
It was
like
200.
okay, it was 200. I couldn't remember if it was 200 or 300, something like that. And I said, the motherfucker's probably going to spend the shit on fucking pot and come up with some excuse
Yeah.
that it wasn't enough money. Well, then the little shit hit us with the news that it was going to be like $3,500 to fix his car.
Oh, and he was losing his mind.
Yeah, yeah. And like Sugar Crit said, people offered to pay the mechanic directly, and he wouldn't accept it.
Right. And so then I tried to work with him on. I didn't realize how long ago he had got the car. He made it sound like he hadn't had it that long, And I said, well, we need to look up lemon laws for your state. And so then,
I know, it was an old car.
Yeah, and then he lets out about how long he had it. I was like, well, you're not. That's not going to work then. I said, what you need to do now is you need to find a junkyard that buys cars. You need to shop around and get the best deal.
Yeah.
He can't fucking be bothered to do that.
Nope. Look, if he just wants to sit under his mom's skirt and play video games and smoke weed and smoke cigarettes, okay, fine. But you're going to have to accept that we're going to talk shit on you, bro. That's it.
Because you lie.
That's it. I mean, it's the same thing with Shani and Rev.
And
Listen, those two were and still are, shit all over and frowned upon. They're not just frowned upon on the internet, because of the shit people they are. And Rebel, you're a shit person, dude. That's all there is to
absolutely.
it.
I mean, and none of us give a tap dancing fuck
Right.
that you've become accustomed to not working.
No.
Yeah.
Buck up, grow up, big boy pants.
No, never going to happen.
And the thing about Shani and Rev is Rev inherited that $750,000 and they fucking blew through it in a goddamn year. And then, where they're at.
Here's the thing. Did you hear him the other day? He's like, you waste the money. You greedy. I could invest it so much better than any of you. Hello. You squandered your opportunity to walk away from that house with more money in your pocket. And then when you took the money from the house, you spent half of it on weed. Half of it. And then instead of buying a better car, you spent half of it on that. And now you don't have a car. Why? Because you bought a shit car and then you didn't pour one single fucking dime. No, you cried and said, it's like torture to ask me to save my weed donos.
Wow, it's amazing. And I can't apologize to the community and the people of the community enough, for us, just not listening. And I'm very appreciative. Most of the people, have been very, very cordial in saying that, and patient in saying that, hey, you just had to learn for yourself, and
people could have reamed us. I so recognize that, and most people have been nice. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you. I've dealt with that my whole life. I don't give a shit, but most people were very, very nice to us.
Yeah.
Oh, Lady Witch, you want me to say that again? It's like torture to ask me to save my weed donos. Yeah, I mean, just all the whining, the constant whining. I'd have to report my income. I'd have to have bills. I want to be able to spend as much money I want on weed, and I've become accustomed to not working, and you don't understand. You don't understand.
Oh yeah.
You
I
haven't
don't have a choice. I don't have a choice.
you haven't
Oh,
been
God.
you Elizabeth, we haven't been through the shit that he's been through.
Right.
This motherfucker didn't have a goddamn clue.
No, he could not handle real life
Uh-uh.
problems, like serious problems. It just blows my mind that he has the
I mean,
nerve and the
it's just like,
gall.
whoa, 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 Connie's crying.
Ugh.
Just, fuck.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's always crying about something. Everything has to be about the saga of Connie. And since y'all are relatively new, I'm just going to tell you, when he first came to the community, almost 3 years ago, um, he would come on some panels. And every single time, without fail, the experience was awkward as fuck. It was just because Connie does not know what to do in a situation where this topic does not revolve around him. He does not know how to socialize about topics other than Connie and the saga of Connie.
Yeah.
It always must be about him. It was just, oh, it was painful to watch, just uncomfortable. And what he doesn't understand is how uncomfortable he makes people with the e-begging. It's just, he is like a feral road drill noise level version of the person on the street corner or the person outside the Quick Trip. And what you do is you keep your eyes resolutely forward. You don't make eye contact because it's just uncomfortable as fuck.
I just tell him, if somebody comes up to me, I just look at him and go, do I look like I have fucking money, and walk off? Or if they ask me for a cigarette, I tell them, dude, I can't afford to give my cigarettes away. What are you, crazy? I just fucking walk the fuck off. I get a little bitter at them because some of them have been very aggressive, just like Connie has been on YouTube, but they do it in real life. Like I've had them come up to my truck window and start like tapping on it and yelling at me while I'm on the phone. You know what I mean? Like after leaving work, maybe I'm talking to a coworker or my dad or my mom or something. These motherfuckers will come up and start banging on your fucking window. I roll the window down and tell them, hey, motherfucker, I'm fucking busy. I ain't got time for your fucking bullshit. I mean, I go fucking bother somebody else. I'm coming back up to much because a lot of them I see, on a daily basis
Yeah.
at the same fucking stoplights and shit. And they don't come up after that. Or I tell them, maybe if you treated people with some respect, you might get something out of them. But I don't do everybody like that. But the ones that are disrespectful like him, nah, fuck that shit.
I had one, it was when you and I first met in that same location where we met. And I'm about to get out of my car, and the guy like rushes up to me. And so I opened the door on him, just like flat out. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, look, I am a small female getting out of their vehicle, and you're going to rush up to me and you got attitude? I don't think so.
Oh, that's happened to me here. And believe me, I mean, 5'3" and a size 8. Come
Yeah,
on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've literally told a guy, "You're about to get shot." Back the fuck up.
Well,
Yeah, I'm small. So it just, yeah.
it's frightening. And I'm not going to lie. It is frightening to have a grown man that you've never seen that's all bug eyed and rush up to you. I have no problem giving people food. I have no problem, buying food for people that are in need, giving them clothes, anything. But I'm still to this day stunned that I didn't see his bullshit, because I see it in real life all the time and I can spot it in real life.
I
But
think you were probably distracted because people like me were savaging the fuck out of him, Voodoo Queen. You were probably distracted by that. And I realized, and what happened is okay, for about a month, I backed off of Connie because I think he was getting, a few donos on the side just to spite me because I realize how forceful I come off. And I have done so for a reason. And also, you also have to understand one of the reasons I backed off for a while is you can ask people that know me in Discord. I'm not
Mhm.
cut out for being a full time, full tilt Karen.
Yeah.
That's that's not my normal MO. And so I backed off for a while, but then I noticed he was getting cockier than ever. He didn't
Yeah.
have makeup in his face.
Yep.
And I told Crits a couple of days ago, I said, fuck this. He's gotten way too cocky.
Hmm.
I said, no, 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 no. I said, he's gotten way too cocky. And so I'm just not going to let up. I'm just not. He doesn't understand. It is completely legal to laugh at you. It is completely legal to restream you. It is completely legal to go to that restream and talk mad shit about you. It's completely legal to call your mom a gypsy racist sow, and it's completely legal to tell you what a fucking loser grifter man child you are. All of that is legal. And that is all I have done with you, Connie. All.
Yeah, no, nobody's committing crimes against him. And, I mean, technically, it's not. As far as I know, it's not even illegal to send shit to his home. I
Yeah, it's not anything I really want to do. It's not anything I would do. It's not anything I've done. I've never thought sending he doesn't have a sense of humor about it. Boss bitch is a very good friend of mine.
Yeah,
And I said, girl, I said, I know you wanted to troll him. I said, but I could have told you. I've been around here for a while. He has no sense of humor.
Well,
Part
it's because he wears, as much as he doesn't want to think, he wears his feelings on his sleeve.
Oh yeah.
And anybody that doesn't, follow in with "you're wonderful" and "hey, you can do this," and talk him up or whatever, but he does not realize it's so that he will do for himself. You know that most people I think that have helped him probably wanted him to do for himself. I'm sure there's people that have trolled him with money, but at this point, rather than ingratiating himself, to people that are much more savvy than him on the internet, instead, he makes himself a pariah.
Shelly, no, no, okay, don't. Yeah, you can talk. You won't get timed out.
No, yes, she will. If she wants to talk shit, I'm going to time her out.
Oh,
And I'll tell
I didn't. I
yeah,
wasn't paying attention. I guess.
yeah.
Shelly, behave yourself,
he
lady.
is I have at first I wanted to feel bad for him, because on one level, I do feel like the trolling has made things worse, has made his mental state worse.
I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay, Betty.
However, however, his behavior has made it where he's just fucking deserved it. He really has. And he doesn't understand that he, the world does not owe him a living. I mean,
I completely agree with you, and I don't understand why, at this age, with this many people telling him that, with this many people telling him, bro,
he says he's in the right. He thinks he's in the right. See,
it's
what
insane.
he doesn't, and see, he doesn't, he really, really doesn't get it about his upcoming trial. See, I know he went to the last hearing in with papers and shit in tow, thinking he's going to try to get that HO overturned. That
Uh-huh.
HO, Connie, is a fait accompli, whether you think it should have been granted or not. It is a lawful order from the judge, and you are bound by law to respect it. And when the judge heard the recording of what you were saying the day you were supposed to be at the courthouse to argue against having that HO granted, because you had an opportunity. You were at home smoking weed. You didn't
Mhm.
want to pay for the Uber. You wanted to buy weed instead. You made your choice and you chose badly. So then you showed up with your papers thinking you could get it overturned after the fact. It's a done deal. It's not going to be overturned.
Whoops.
It doesn't matter. None of it matters. What
Sorry.
matters is you disobeyed the judge. And when the judge heard it, he instructed Sancho to go directly to his police station or report it because he considered it a violation. It wasn't some uh, idea Sancho got on his own. And that's what happened.
Well, he doesn't take the time to read anything for himself. If anybody has seen me online talking about him, it's my God, my God, my God, Jesus Christ. Please, somebody send him a dictionary. I want him to read a fucking dictionary so badly.
Correlate. And he's, and anybody, and you know who you are. You know who you are that might be in behind the scenes thinking that they can try to help him evade taking responsibility for once in his fucking miserable life. Fuck you and shame on you. Fuck you and shame on you. Because the best thing in the world to happen to Connie is for the full weight and displeasure of the court to come down on his head and for him to finally have to face consequences for once in his life and have to listen to somebody, put his head down, and do what he's told and not be able to tantrum his fucking way out of it.
Hey guys, I don't mind. I mean, you can say Shelly beats Honey Bunny, or whatever, but let's leave, if we can, please, not the fake grape and that shit. Come on, you guys know what the lines are.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Or maybe they don't know the lines here, but
be funny,
draw them.
Not, horrible. Please. Anyways, sorry, Liz.
That's okay. I was just on a bender. That's all. It's just, I know he's watching, and just, he needs to understand this is not going to go the way he thinks he is. He's I'm in the right. I'm in the right. Y'all fucks are going to prison. You're going to be in so much trouble. Y'all shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done this. Fuck you, Connie. Nothing's going to happen. There's no lawsuit coming. There's no retribution coming. There's no settlement coming. You know what, bruh? You know what you really need to do? You need to research the damage cap limits in Massachusetts, bruh. Let's say you had a case, honey, and you got a settlement. 40% at least would go to your attorneys. You wouldn't even have $100,000 left over, motherfucker.
He would stroke out when he realized how things really go down. But I don't think that he believes any of the bullshit he's saying. I think he thinks that it sounds important.
No, I think he's delusional. I really do. I think he has whipped himself up into this frenzy. You know what? I really think he is starting to look at himself as some sort of freedom fighter for the oppressed. I mean, he's starting to vocalize some delusions. He gets on these, like, I was the only one speaking out against blah, 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 blah. And like he was fighting for them. What?
He would if he came across a dead body with their wallet still there, he would rob them.
Oh, absolutely.
And you want to know what I think? Do y'all ever laugh when he talks about turning down $500 from Ross Kahn?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you crack the fuck up?
Yeah.
Honey, stop front and stop lying. Her saying, well, I'll give you $500 if that hypothetical kind of $500, and you say, I'm not going to take it. That's not turning down $500. I don't believe $500 ever showed up in your Cash App and you sent it back to anybody. Mom Squatch would beat your ass in a way that would make what happened on YouTube seem like child's play.
Well, she was pissed off at him for doing what he did to us.
Oh yeah.
She does not let him forget that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
How many other people do you think, Liz, have sent them Christmas presents and Christmas candy and birthday presents?
that
Well,
acted
I'm
like
sure
they
there's
gave a
been a
shit if
few.
they had a Merry Christmas?
I'm
Probably.
sure. I'm sure there's been a few that have sent that stuff for those same reasons. But the thing is like they're gone, and this is repeat behavior for Connie. Whether it's part of his grift or not, it still pisses her off because if there's anybody slightly greedier than him, it's her.
Well, he knows it. He damn well knows it.
Yeah, he knows it.
I am of the bandwagon that he hates her.
I think he hates her as much as he loves her.
Oof.
I do think he loves her, but I also think he hates her as much as he loves her.
I can go with that.
I think he feels. I think he feels trapped and resentful at her, but he literally has no life skills, like you were saying earlier. No social ability. No nothing. He has no way out.
Yeah.
Like he's handicapped in that way.
Oh yeah.
And I think that that may be part of the real battle within Connie is that he will not admit that he is broken,
Well,
that he is irretrievably broken and can't be fixed, because if he did that, then he would finally go and apply for SSI benefits.
See,
Um,
I've
and
wondered all
and
along.
he won't do that because he would have to admit that he is defective in a way that can't be reversed. And I think he is. I really, really do. Because he's just so undisciplined. He has to be instant self gratification. He cannot take no. He cannot take criticism. He cannot take somebody not agreeing with him. He cannot take somebody being even civil to somebody who, you know, maybe he doesn't care for very much, let alone hates. I mean, his idea of loyalty is that of don't you dare have a baby sibling. It's that kind of mentality. You know,
yeah.
telling his mom, "I don't want a baby sibling. I don't want a baby." You
Uh,
know, that's the kind of mentality he displays.
yeah, and I've known people like him in my life, but those people were generations wealthy. So they got away with it. They got away with acting like a piece of shit. They got away with never having any responsibilities and being social outcasts because somebody else was fitting the bill.
Well,
He didn't fall into that family.
well, and I think that's where comments that he makes, like they got me accustomed to a certain life, come from with him.
Yeah.
See, that's why I hit so hard on him and his mother and their toxic relationship, and why him getting off the internet caused her to react violently, physically violent towards him, is because this has been an ongoing battle between those two almost all of their existence together. If you really think about it, I mean, he was born in 90, 91, something like that. You
Yeah.
know, fast forward 5, 6, 7 years from there, where he's just been babysat and by the television, and then internet, and then games, and then it was just give him whatever electronics they can set in front of him to keep him quiet, blah blah blah. And you think about the stories that probably do have a lot of truth to them, like where he was supposed to clean off the table and he wouldn't do it, and everybody else was going to get ice, all that kind of stupid shit. The story about him, that people were getting bullied and got their cell phones taken in 7th grade. Turns out that was actually him. They got bullied and got his cell phone taken. I can just see Ellen and Mary at some point or points back when he was very young having the same explosive interaction over him not wanting to get off the internet. And that's why he's so fucking dug in with this shit. And if you look, like, I don't remember what day it was. It was about a week ago when and I want to say it was on a weekend. He had all of those fucking devices open, and the bags under his eyes, he's been up for days in that blue light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He made some comment about me. I can't even remember what it was now. And I think I was talking shit on Richard Cheese's about the devices or something, and the way he was looking at himself, he was looking at one device, looking at an image of himself, and then he was making like adjustments to his clothes and his hood or whatever, like, looking back up at another screen and then going back. And I was like, man, he is so fucking dug in on this shit. And I'm telling you, I really believe that's why Ellen fucking lashed out that day and slapped the fuck out of him. And the only thing she could think was going back to those moments, get the fuck off the internet. And he won't fucking do it. And I really think that goes to what you're saying about his irreparable, emotional brokenness, basically. That's addict behavior right there. you
He's,
know
I mean, it's just, he is this weird paradox of broken and lazy.
yep.
And
Yep.
he has no coping skills. It's why he thinks he always must be smoking something.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's his coping. And I don't care who disagrees. I don't care what freaking psychology degree you got. He should have had his ass beat as a child.
Yeah.
I
Well.
Well, and I kind of said as much on my panel that, my own child, if I found out my own child was using her mental illness as a means of panhandling on the internet, as old as she is, she's 25, I'd find a way to beat her ass.
Yep, you better believe it.
Well,
And of course, you also have to understand that this same person with that same very serious mental illness has seen Connie in action and has said that, a mental illness is not an excuse to scream and rage when you don't get what you want. It makes you an entitled cunt.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what
like,
my daughter with schizophrenia had to say about the way Connie acts and blames on his mental illness.
oh yeah.
He's so full of shit. He doesn't have a clue. I mean, he really does not have a clue.
No,
You know, oh, that just.
I mean, he doesn't understand. I mean, I don't think he thinks does he think he can intimidate me by saying, "Oh, I'm going to have you arrested"? You know what? You need to shit or get off the pot, Connie. If you're going to accuse me of something, go to the police station and accuse me of something.
Well, he
Do it.
can't go to his police station.
Oh my god.
He can't do it.
Shit or get off the pot, because if I'm going to be accused of something, I feel like I have the right to face my accuser in an expeditious manner. So
Yeah.
either you need to put up or shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's our law.
And it just, this whole seeing it, just I'm calling your bluff, motherfucker, because I know what the laws are. I'm the one who actually has experience with dealing with learning about government. I have experience in politics, something you don't have. All the socialist shit you've been spouting this week, and you ever called yourself a conservative, you dumb shit. And it just, guess what I was? I was a community organizer. How do you think I rallied these people behind the scenes, Connie? How do you think I did it?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't understand. You pissed off somebody who knows what they're doing. And I know about the law. And I know what my rights are as far as the Constitution is concerned. You cry about people cutting your grandma's eyes out and putting your mom on memes and stuff. And do you know, have you, Connie, I really encourage you to watch The People versus Larry Flint. Larry Flint wound up before the Supreme Court because he made a cartoon about the televangelist Jerry Falwell fucking his mother. It was satire. He wasn't fucking his mother. And guess what? That was deemed protected fucking speech, motherfucker. Protected speech. So that means all the shit we say about you, we have every right to say.
Yep. 100%.
So, he's such a baby back bitch. He needs to shut up.
Yeah.
I do, I will admit, and there is a perverse joy when I see him lose his shit,
Yeah.
and there will be a extreme amount of perverse joy when I see him finally get his just desserts. Because we all know that he may not get, any 30 days in jail or 40
No, I
whatever,
don't think he
but
will. He's a first time offender. He is a
right.
first time
But
offender.
he's going to
Let's
get
be
some
realistic.
kind of probation, and he won't make it. He won't pay his fines, and then he'll see some time.
Well, I'm not going to predict what he's going to do there. I don't know. But what I do know, Connie, is that whatever that judge tells you you have to do,
Yep.
you're going to have to fucking do it, whether you like it or not. If that means community service, working for free and not getting paid, finally learning to respect labor and work and not getting paid for it, that would be so sweet. So fucking sweet.
Well, if they're the I mean, they obviously are grifters.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's well aware that sometimes it's just easier to do the time than it is to be on paper for a period. And sometimes I wonder, like what he was doing this last week with, calling the cops on Sweet and all that kind of shit. Sometimes I wonder,
I
is he
want him to
doing
get the
this?
Rick Crude. I want him to get the Rick Crude treatment too.
Is
I
he
really do.
is he trying to get sectioned or taken away on purpose so that they'll just go ahead, he'll spend 30 days or whatever it is in jail and then just be done with it instead of being on paper for however long. There's a lot
He's
of people
too
that'll
proud
just
to
go
say
ahead and
he
do
went
that.
nuts. I think he is
Yeah.
too proud to claim he went nuts, which would be his best defense.
Oh, God, yeah. But those jury members are going to hear the DA talk about what Costa does for a living, and they're going to look at him, and it's going to be mentally game over. They are not going to have any sympathy for him.
I mean, the only reason why he got sympathy for as long as he did here was because of the considerable stoner influence here.
Uh,
I mean, that is one of the reasons he did. I mean, there's a lot of stoners here that, felt bad for him. Oh man, I know what it's like to be out of weed. That sucks, man. So, and then of course he had Sweet as Sugar helping him. And just, he had the stoner circus here helping him get money. And, uh, even they got weary of it. I mean, this wasn't ever meant to be forever. I mean, 2 years ago, the beatdown video, I can't get a job right now. Just him talking about, I can't get a job right now. It was the same thing 2 years ago. I bet it was the same thing before you got evicted from your grandmother's house, Connie. I can't get a job right now. Before you ever laid eyes on me or Kate Peter or Aiden Kearney or Brett Killeran. I mean, long before that, there was always an excuse, wasn't there? I bet there was.
well, Liz, I got some information that'll probably piss you off.
Huh.
So, you ever looked up that high school he went to? It's a so called magnet vocational school.
Oh, and see, I could have told you that, but what I could have told you that from the way he was talking, because here in Texas, I don't know what it's like now. I
Mhm.
do not know what it's like now, but it is very common for magnet program schools that have better educational programs for its students to be in inner city communities.
Oh yeah, for
It's
sure.
well, that's what it's like where I'm from too. But what kills me is a lot of times you have to apply to go to those schools. And he talks about how oppressive it was. I read reviews by students from the school. One girl was graduating with a cosmetology and nail tech license, as well as an associate's degree. And he wants to claim he's never had a shot. Fuck you. Fuck you, Costa.
And it sounds like from what Ellen said, it sounds like she tried to make sure he went to a good high school by getting him into Madison Park High School.
Mm,
And he's an ungrateful shit. That's really what it sounds like.
mm.
But on the other hand, he's a little retarded, and so he might have felt out of place in a high school where the kids there were, so many of them were there to actually learn. For all I know, I don't know. It's just it just nah.
But it's the opportunities. He claims all this oppression, you know, which is one of the things that got me. I grew up without, I grew up very poor, you know, and I made a life for myself. But he's had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Let me tell you something. Growing up in South Louisiana, I never once even thought about going to another fucking country as a child. It wasn't an option. Disney World, no fucking way.
Yeah. And not only that, I mean, I you can just tell he was mollycoddled by the women in his life. Just absolutely spoiled, babied, given everything he wants. And that's why he thinks he can come on here and throw a wall-eyed temper tantrum and walk away with $120 for weed.
Yeah. And why, some people that throw money at him think that they're doing so, to troll others. You know what I mean? Like it, it's ridiculous. You're just wasting your money at that point. I mean, we wasted plenty of money on him, but the continual, like, I can't, that, like, that literally, that's the only way they have to speak out or whatever. I mean, you guys are actually hurting the fuck out of him. I know Shelly was in here
Yeah.
earlier saying that, oh, you all want to see Rebels succeed. I don't know how sarcastic she was being or how friendly she was trying to be
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, I
But
do.
but
That shit
Yeah.
saved.
the thing is we may feel like he's an LOL cow and will point and laugh if he falls down a fucking flight of stairs. At least I will. Uh, but I don't think it's right to continue.
I'm not blowing smoke up his ass.
Yeah, I don't think it's right to continually troll the motherfucker by throwing him a few bucks here and there so that he can go get that eighth or whatever just to get back at a community that you've been mostly exiled from. You know what I mean? Like
For good
yourself.
reason, bedtime clown, I might point out.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying that Shelly's doing that. I'm just saying that, or that I know she's doing that. I'm just saying there are definitely other people around that do that.
But see, and I tried to tell him that. I've tried to tell people that. I've tried to tell people like Paige and STL that. And of course, apparently they haven't donated to him in a long time. I'm not going to, I'm not trying to open up that can of worms, but I have told people that every time you give him money, you give him false hope
Yeah.
that this is a viable way to make money for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
That
never realized that.
that he can evade what is coming forever, whether it is employment or assistance. You can't avoid this forever. I tried to tell you that you are at a crossroads. You only have one way to deal with your current financial situation. And it's a combination of growing up and making some tougher choices and either getting a job or applying for assistance because the well is dry. And if you could, now, I'm not telling you to get off of YouTube. I'm not. You could theoretically delete all of your channels and start over again in another YouTube community.
Yep.
But I goddamn you, Connie, it would begin again. And not because any of us found you, but because you would begin the same behavior again. History would repeat itself and it would happen all over again.
Well,
We tried to talk him into that.
the thing about it is too is that you know it's entirely possible that were he to go out and get a job, as much as he likes to live stream, he could live stream in his off time and talk about all of the things that we already know happens in daily life and all of that shit. We as the audience members, right? You know, and listen to him bitch and cry. We can laugh at him. We can point and we can try to build him up and all of that stuff. Not call his employer if anybody ever found out and get him fired and shit. But
And that would be one thing that
he would
I
have
would
so much more
ream
content,
people's
you know.
asses over if I found out that they didn't. If I found out one single friend of mine ever did that to him, should he get employment? If I found out that happened, the ass reaming that they would get from me would be absolutely nuclear. Absolutely nuclear. Telling you. Because that is 1000% wrong.
Nobody, I mean, at least for us, you know, we don't want to not see him succeed, you know, but we're on the same page as most of the other people, in that there's only one fucking way it's going to happen, and there is no other way. You know, he doesn't even have enough money to buy lottery tickets, and that's only a one shot deal anyway. So even if you did buy him a fucking lottery ticket.
I tried to have conversations with him about getting out of the mindset that I now think is fake. I don't know. But of him always being a victim and not having choices. And I would tell him we actually have the choice to do anything we want. You know, just because someone does something doesn't mean you have to react. You know, but he didn't get that concept.
Yeah. Well, it's not that he doesn't get it. He doesn't want it. He gets it. He just doesn't want it.
Well, you know, his mother helped teach him contempt for people that work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
You could hear it in her voice on the Lawless panel. Because you have jobs.
Right. You have jobs. You're better than me. Fucking shit. Nah, somebody did ask me a while back if I would get him a job where I work. I said, fuck no.
No.
Hell no.
Nobody within their right mind would ever want to put their professional reputation online for a Connie.
No. With my friends.
But
I mean, the fact that Kate Peter ever offered him one, no cap, no joke, says more about her. I mean, better lady than I am. Because the thing is that the first time he gets told what to do, or if he gets criticized for something at work, or he gets constructive criticism on the job, oh my God, they'd be guilty of federal crimes.
Yeah.
They'd be accused of unfairly criticizing the lowest class citizen on their staff.
Yeah. Years ago, I'd worked with a guy. I used to work for a defense contractor, and I was a supervisor on second shift, and they put him on my shift. And this dude, his name was Mike, and he was a black guy, had a few, you know, I mean, is a major defense contractor, so diversity was everything. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of bullshit going on in that way, but this dude, he started out on first shift, and a couple of the guys that also were black, he didn't get along with, because like the way we did things, we worked in optics, right? And like I said, defense contractor. So, you know, we built the mirrors for like the Predator spy plane and the Global Hawk plane, and you know, thermal imaging and night vision, you know, infrared, near infrared, all that stuff. Well, anyways, so we had process sheets, you know, like this is the way you do something when you're, you know, doing a process on a mirror or whatever, because I mean, this is science. You know what I mean? There is no getting around this shit. There's no secret path that is easier than what we've already laid out and written down and recorded. And he refused to believe it. And he told this other dude, Robert. I remember this is why they moved him to second shift, because Robert was also black. And he told Robert, he said, "Man, come on, man. You know that there's an easier way to do this shit." And Robert was like, "No, man. I've worked here 35 years, and this is the way we came up with that works every single time that we have to do it. You have to shoot lasers and use electron microscopes and this and that and the other." And he refused to fucking believe it. And he was telling me when he came over to night shift that Robert, because he was from Louisiana, was sprinkling voodoo dust on the zygo interferometer that was causing him to make bad parts, and that's why they moved him to second shift and blah blah blah. I mean, it was craziness. He absolutely did not want to do what needed to be done to be successful. And that guy reminds me a lot of Rebel, or Rebel reminds me a lot of that guy.
Yeah.
That dude actually got fired. I had to fire him because he was threatening to meet Robert in the parking lot and stab him.
Oh Lord.
And the coding supervisor back, when I was working for them, it took 2 supervisors to walk somebody out with security, and the fucking coding supervisor, the only other person with pull there, was too chicken shit and wouldn't come help me walk the guy out to the parking lot. I was terrified. I thought he was going to fucking stab me. Anyways, Tobers. Tobers president, y'all.
Tober's
I'm getting tired of talking about Rebel anyways.
kidding.
But yeah, so, I mean, it's crazy the shit that people come up with and all of that stuff. But yeah, Tobers is.
Oh, is that her cat?
Yeah, Tobers is the most stoic of kitty cats. How old is he?
12.
12. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's nice and calmed down and.
Well, you know what? He has always been an exceptionally docile cat.
Yeah.
Always.
Nice.
So very sweet.
He is a pretty boy. He
is. He's my good boy.
So I don't know if you have any opinions on this. What do you think about this whole Abe thing?
What happened? I
don't know. He's just I think he's just it's like Tonic said earlier. He's just a try hard, a super duper try hard thirst trout.
Yeah.
That is just doing whatever he can to just somehow be mentioned and relevant. I don't know. It's crazy.
If I, let's say, I was a candidate for the Supreme Court, let's just go for something stupid, and everybody said, "No, you're not. No, you're not." Why would you care? And why would you put it out there? That's what I don't get about him. Like, you're going to die on the sword of something nobody gives a shit about.
Well, he's already dead. That's the thing. He's already dead on the sword. He's been dead on the sword. I don't understand the attempted resurrection. But what I do think, though, is that he's actually as batshit hateful and crazy as Lady Di supposedly is, according to people that have known her way longer than I have.
I hate it when you play her.
I do think that he's possibly taken financial advantage of her. I'll just say it. He doesn't ever seem to address it. And his kid fetish is definitely weird. And I'm only bringing that up and saying that because it's my channel. I can say whatever the fuck I want. But yeah, Abe, you're fucking weird. I don't care if people don't want to speak out against you, motherfucker. You're weird.
It's extremely weird.
There's lots of weird sorts.
Yeah, I spent a lot of years in the Craigslist forums, which I thought was bottom of the barrel.
It is.
Back then. But now I'm like, I mean, at least we had Daniel Tosh's writers stealing our jokes. You know what I mean? I mean, this was back before Reddit or Facebook or YouTube or any of that shit. I mean, at least we had that, you know. And but this is a whole new. When once you introduced like live interaction, it just. I still to this day I'm just sometimes I'm beside myself.
I was very curious what Clown's fascination with Craigslist was. So I figured out what his handle was, and I went
She
in there.
stalked me. Did y'all hear that? She violated my rights and stalked me.
Yep, do whatever the fuck I want.
Ah.
I went in there, and I stupidly clicked on an image I made the image bigger,
Oof,
and
big mistake.
mm-mm. Oh my god, I can't unsee that image. It still makes me want to vomit. I didn't know that
Can
people
you
did
tell us
those.
what? Can you tell us what it was? Are you actually going to tell it?
You want me to tell it? I've never told you.
I know. I don't want to know because I know it can be pretty nasty. But I.
It was a man with his hands up against a wall, and another man was eating his shit.
She's she is literally retching right now.
So nasty.
Yeah, I kind of think maybe nobody wanted to know that.
I can't say I can't say I'm shocked. Her eyes are
God, that reminds me of the time DFK got 2 girls, 1 cup and lost his channel.
Two girls, one cup. Oh my god.
Don't.
You know that was just ice cream.
Sorry, Dave.
That was just chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
I hope nobody was trying to eat. Oh, that happens to me all the time. I'm like chilling, listening to a stream in the chat, and then somebody comes in and they're just like blah blah blah. And I'm like, motherfucker. I was trying to eat.
God.
Yeah, I mean, mm, 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 mm. I don't. But you know, I told you back then. I said I think whatever it is that you saw, I don't want to know, but I probably have seen it because I don't want to revisit it. But I don't think that I've ever seen that one, honestly.
Well, I could draw it for you
No,
because
I don't want to.
it's like an etching, like molecules.
Oh, it wasn't an actual picture, or you're saying it's like etched in your brain, like
It's etched in my brain.
like laser etched.
Yeah.
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 Engraved.
Like I think I lost some brain cells that day.
Craigslist will kill brain cells, that's for sure.
Ooh.
Well, anyways, how's the weather down there? We're nice and cool. I don't know if you're actually down there. I'm in Dallas. You don't have to say where you're at.
I'm in Arlington.
Oh, okay. So we got the same weather. Nice.
That's right. It's beautiful weather.
It is beautiful. I was a little upset earlier because it got up to like 90 degrees. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was mad.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I noticed. I was like, oh, it's going to be back in the 90s this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine.
You know what though? At least it's gonna be. It might be a little warm, but I'm not gonna bitch because going and doing that work tomorrow. If the weather was shit, oh, that's even worse because we don't have shelter, and I can't because there's no water, there's no coolant in the car. I can't move it. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nowhere to move it to. So I'm not gonna complain about it. You know, it's not that bad. So
I love this time of year. It's my favorite.
I do too. I absolutely adore it.
It really is. The weather here, I mean, it just makes suffering through the summer kind of worth it.
Yeah, it's too bad it only lasts for like 2 weeks, you know? And
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately our fall is literally only 2 weeks and then it'll just be winter and dead and cold. And probably wet. Not wet enough to freeze, but just wet enough to cause a lot of accidents.
Be miserable.
And be miserable. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in Arlington. What you and me and Tonic and Chicky,
Yeah,
are all DFW people.
Yeah, Tonic and Chicky, because I work like right on the Dallas Irving border, so I'm not far from them. when I go to work. I hate the fucking traffic. Well, I hate the traffic anywhere, but yeah, fuck. I was on 635 this morning. It was like fucking 45 fucking minutes just to go between
Oh,
75 and 35.
see, I don't do that. I do not. I have almost no commute. On a good morning, when the traffic cooperates, I can get to the office in 10 minutes,
Yeah, nice. No, I've got a 28 mile.
and I don't have to get on the highway. So, yeah.
Sometimes I take Tech Express if I can get it, like get to it. You know what I mean? I'll take the Tech Express, but not all the time. Just depends on what time it is, you know. But yeah, I'll hop on that Tech Express if it just gets to be too much. But this morning I couldn't even. It wasn't even worth it to and worth the aggravation to try to get over to get to it. You know, I mean, everybody's just packed and it's literally just stop and sit there for a minute, move up a couple of feet, stop and sit there for a few minutes, move up a couple of fucking feet. Ugh, it
I
was
have to go
just a fucking
downtown a
nightmare.
couple of times a month, and I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to drive like that anymore. Yeah. Uh, mm, no, the traffic, even on the Fort Worth side, sucks.
Yeah, we do a lot of install work over on the Fort Worth side.
I'm a native of Fort Worth. That's where I'm from originally.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I lived there my whole life until 2018.
Well, I don't care what anybody says. The Railhead has the best fucking barbecue in all of North Texas.
Red
Uh,
has pretty good barbecue. I will give you
and
that.
so yeah, we went there. Well, I've been there quite a few times because, like I said, we do a lot of work out there. But we went there here a while back. It was probably the first time I'd been there, or second time I'd been there. We're standing in line, and I see them slicing all that fat off them fucking briskets and throwing it in that fucking bucket, and then they're cutting. I said, "Hey, uh, do me a favor, take me a few slices of that shit and put it on my fucking plate. Like, what are y'all doing with? Why are y'all not serving that?" Kind of looked at me like I was fucking crazy. I said, "No, no, no. With the whatever brisket you cut off, you give. I want the fat as well." God damn, that shit was good. Mm. Best fucking barbecue anywhere, in my opinion.
When Fort Worth has changed so much from when I
Yep.
was growing up.
Yeah.
Um, it is, I marvel driving downtown late at night because
Yeah.
downtown Fort Worth is so remarkably clean and safe for
So
an
do
urban
you? So
downtown area.
do you remember when the? I mean, obviously you remember when the Motor Speedway was built,
Yeah,
and you could go up. What is that? Is that 161 that runs north and south? What's over on the west side, south of the one they're doing all the construction on now, making it like
35.
no, it's either just east or just west of 35. I thought it was 161. I can't remember, but it runs basically right up. It runs north and south, like right up into the speedway. But I remember when they first built that
Oh,
speed.
did they extend the tollway in Fort Worth to go that far north? Is that what they did? Or
Maybe I don't. I can't, fuck. I don't know. Probably, but I remember going from south of that motor speedway about 10 miles, and you could see it was just a 2 lane blacktop highway. And you could see that motherfucker from like 10 miles away. It was the only thing out there.
yeah, I remember when it was the only
It
thing out
lit up the
there.
sky like the sun was fucking rising,
Yeah, and it was
you know?
huge.
And now to drive up that same fucking stretch of highway, there have got to be tens of thousands of homes in that 10-mile stretch just in between basically southwest Fort Worth and North Fort Worth. it is insane how much it has blown up over the past 25 years. It's crazy.
One of the one of my favorite places
287
in
maybe, yeah.
in Fort Worth now is the near South Side area where Magnolia Street is,
Yeah, yeah,
near the
yeah.
hospital district.
Yeah.
It's just an absolutely wonderful place. And but when I was growing up, it was not somewhere you could walk at midnight.
Yeah.
It is now.
Yeah.
And but that's the kind of progress that I've seen in my home, where I grew up. Just the remarkable rebirth of the downtown area. And I remember when the Bass Hall was built, and I mean, I still consider it a
Mhm.
modern architectural wonder.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
a gorgeous building.
Yeah.
And to attend events there is just a next level experience. Any
Wow.
sort of musical theater or opera or orchestra that I have attended there has been outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've been there, a really long time. I was young.
It's been a while. I think the last time I went, it was an opera that we went to when my daughter was in high school and still training herself. My daughter did opera training,
Yeah.
and um, so we went to the Bass Hall quite a bit, she and I together. And of course, I growing up in Fort Worth. My parents always had musical theater tickets. I grew up going to shows a lot. And but to be able to go to some place as wonderful as the Bass Hall, because when I was a kid in Fort Worth, all we had was Casa Manana, and then of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
and then there was Fair Park in Fort Worth, and I mean in Dallas,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but now we have the Bass Hall, and it's just so different.
That's really cool. I've lived here all my life. I was born here. I absolutely love it. A lot of people, don't, you hear a lot of people that, oh, I would never go back to live in the place I grew up or whatever. I have loved it here my whole life.
Yeah,
Um, I love Dallas Fort Worth. Absolutely love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
yeah, me
I mean,
too.
even though City of Hate shot the president. Sorry, guys. You know,
Well, see, and my husband and I feel pretty strongly about our home too. So,
yeah,
Randy, that is how I grew up. My parents, they took my brother and me everywhere. My parents were a little bit of odd ducks. They were married for 13 years before my brother and I were born. So, as a result, my brother and I did not get dragged to babysitters. No, my brother and I went along for the ride. So, we went to a lot of adult stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, we attended a lot of different events with our parents. I mean, yeah, we had to get dressed and go to theater.
yeah. Like a lot of us. Like a lot of us.
But
I was raised by my
my mom
grandparents,
said
so I
I
got to go
waited
to
and
even older
cried and
stuff.
prayed for a child for years. I wasn't going to palm you off on a babysitter.
Right.
That's
Or a television.
yeah. Uh, having older parents that took me everywhere. It was different. It was different from what my friends had.
Yeah. It was interesting. Like one of my kids, she wasn't raised on TV, and she's 26 now, and she wouldn't I don't think she would know what the fuck to do without her devices and cable TV, you know but she still loves to get out and do the stuff that we did when she was a little girl. You know what I mean? Like disconnect and not be constant. I don't know, just not have that warm glow of the electric. You know what I
And
mean?
my daughter does that. My daughter does that with my granddaughter,
Yeah.
her and her husband. Um, you know, she likes to they like to go places together as a family and do stuff together. spend time outside.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that I got her, camping and fishing early on in her life. And the first time she caught a catfish in front of her great grandfather was, I think it just hooked her. You know what I mean? And so any kind of she's not a outdoorsy type by any stretch of the imagination just by looking at her, but she'll get muddy and dirty. She don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
So I guess we're about the same age, huh?
yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah,
I'm 47, so
yeah,
it's not a secret. Um, yeah, because my daughter's 25.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because and I get tired of hearing about how we're old, and I hate to go back to that, but this just reminded me. I get tired of hearing how we're old and finished. You know, in my 20s and 30s, I had a successful retail career.
Yeah.
And after some stuff went down and I was ill and everything, and I had Connie, he asked about what get in the bucket meant.
Yeah.
Yes, Blues, I'm 47. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter. Um, so yeah, it wasn't that funny, Shelly calling me ugly and old. Yeah. I don't claim to be anything spectacular, but my skin is absolutely flawless.
So I'm
I,
not
I'm
I'm not laughing
I'm
at you
not
in a bad way. I'm just laughing at your yeah.
I just saw that. I thought of that panel I had. Shut up, Elizabeth K. You're ugly and old. And it's like, fuck you, Shelly. My skin is so much better than yours. It's not even funny. So, but I get tired of hearing about how we are old.
Yeah.
And when I had my get in the bucket moment, and get in the bucket is not a threat, Connie. Get in the bucket is my personal euphemism for my own moment of recognizing where my bad decisions had brought me and the folly of my own actions.
Yeah.
It's a moment you have not had yet, Connie, and it's a moment you desperately need.
Yeah.
So, and why do I call it get in the bucket? Because do you know what was in that bucket? My own fucking tears.
Mm.
And I had to get in it and I had to deal with it. And so do you. You're just putting it off. You've been putting it off your whole life. So, but you all telling us that we're old. So when I had my get in the bucket moment, I had to figure out what I did. And so now I am 47 years old and I am thriving in a second career that I started after I turned 40, Connie. And considering it'll be at least 72, I'll be at least 72 by the time I'm retirement age. I have more than 20 years left in the workplace, motherfucker. Who are you to fucking tell any of us that we're old and finished and we've lived our lives? Fuck you. Fuck you, kid. What do you know? You haven't even done anything with what you've had so far. You've squandered your life. By the time I was 33, I had home, I had husband, I had children, I had stuff to show for it. So, quit acting like you've got your whole life ahead of you. You're a bag of bones. You've got dark circles under your eyes. You chain smoke and you smoke way too much. Way too much. You abuse your body with junk food, with laziness and indolence. I mean, quit talking like you're 20. You're not.
Mm.
Fuck you, kid.
Well, what kills me too is he talks about these old people using emojis and internet slang and blah blah blah, thinking they're so cool. Who the fuck do you think invented that shit?
Yeah, it was our generation.
We invented it, motherfucker. So
Yeah.
there's that. There it is.
just, oh, we're old, nasty.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
hello. I'm no, no. And he got real bothered. I said he wasn't handsome. You're not. You're not. You're a bag of bones, kid.
You
Like
mean
Richard
to
says,
tell
your
me?
chin looks like an unwashed ass crack.
Oof, oof. Yeah, yeah. He does have the butt chin.
Mm.
I
I
mean,
didn't.
just
I don't want to. I didn't want to point it out because there are some very attractive people
that
that,
have a cleft chin, yes.
yeah,
But
that
he's
have
just
the.
not one of them.
Yeah, he's just
I
not
mean,
one
he
of
just keeps on talking about how I'm more talented. Really, Connie? Connie, I can sing circles, a cappella. I don't need music to do it. Your rap gets worse with practice. What talent? What talent?
them.
Two career fields, Connie. What talent? You haven't had one. What talent?
I have one that he has a talent. He is a damn good liar.
Yeah.
So, that's how he likes to trash other people, tell them they don't have any talent, they're old, they're finished, they're ugly, you're jealous of my looks, you're jealous of my youth. What the fuck ever? What a bitch. I don't know if he's trying to convince us or convince himself.
I don't know.
I think it's both.
By the time I was his age, I had bought my second house by myself.
By the time I was 33, I didn't think of myself as I'm so young and I've got my whole life ahead of me. For fuck's sake, when I was 33, I had a 12-year-old, a seventh grader.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
so, you know, he's, I think it's just so indicative of the mindset. He still thinks he's 15
No.
and acts like he's 5. No, he is still at that fucking ice cream table.
Yeah.
He
I
is
think.
still there.
Well, like I
He is
said,
he is still there in that fucking ice cream table because that whole incident had such an effect on him. And do you know why it affected him so badly? It was the one time he couldn't throw a fit and get his way anyway.
yeah, exactly. Me personally, I think he's still back at that Nintendo or Sega Genesis or whatever the fuck it was. You know, computer. You know, when Mary or Ellen were telling him to get the fuck off of it. I think that's where he's at.
And as for teaching you a lesson, Connie, I can't teach you the lesson. I can't teach it to you. I'm just trying to keep the fucking hobo wrangled until the judge can make you take your medicine.
Mm.
That's all. That's all. Just I can't do it. I you know I'm not even confident that a judge can do it. But the
No.
judge can make you flail and cry and scream and tantrum for a while because you don't want to do what he tells you, and you'll either have to do what he tells you anyway or suffer the consequences. And that makes my ass grin. It really does.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet anybody in the community that's a betting person $50 that he has a fit in court and threatens his attorney.
Like Taylor Shabusiness threatened.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I think it's before it's all over, his lawyer will be on the list.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, for sure. He'll have to get Lauren De Laguna to file a complaint against a public defender uh,
That's just as funny.
for him.
I
Let's
could
see.
see.
You know what, Randy? it is hard to say because the autism spectrum, and I do have a son with Asperger's. Um, my son has Asperger's. So the autism spectrum, it's a spectrum. So not everybody's so different from each other.
Right.
And sometimes I just wonder because he is so painfully awkward socially. I mean, I'm a socially awkward person and I'm a butterfly compared to him.
Mm. Liz, have you ever talked to him offline?
No, 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 no. The only thing I ever did was try to address him in chat, and I never even registered with him. Never even registered with him until I got Savage. He talks about how, well, maybe if somebody had said it a nicer way or a different way. No, because you don't remember me saying things in a nicer way.
Yeah.
You don't remember. I didn't have any donos for you, so you don't remember me. And that's, and he doesn't remember me. He thought I was new to the community.
Mm.
I was already here when he got here. So,
Well, offline, he is a wet blanket. That is the personality.
that was what he was like on panels.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he was like on panels. He was an absolute wet fucking blanket.
Yeah.
And that's why it was always such a painfully uncomfortable experience because he doesn't know how to behave when the topic does not revolve around him.
Right. Well, and it has to be the way he wants it, and it has to be praise,
Yeah. Oh no, you can't be about him in a negative way. Oh no. No, and he's when somebody it's like the way he talked to Brittany on the Lawless panel. Oh well, I did that wrong. I guess that means rebels should die.
Oh.
What? Asking you to take responsibility for something does not mean death. It does not mean that. Just like you not getting donos, it's not death. It isn't. Every single one of your actual necessities is taken care of by the good taxpayers of the state of Massachusetts, Connie. The fact that you took on these very, very expensive habits of yours when you were not employed is not our problem.
Nope.
It's your problem.
The stream for Mother's Day is one of the ones that I see what he's doing. I heard him. I think I've heard that stream maybe twice, but I cannot wrap my brain around somebody telling everyone else that it's your fault that I didn't plan ahead. You gonna let her in? As if Mother's Day was a surprise.
Surprise, it's Mother's Day. Yeah. Or and why were we supposed to give a fuck about his mother? Why? I mean, I don't go to I'm not going to go over to Corrosive's panel and ask him about his mom. And I'm not going to that's just not going to happen.
No, I have my own mother and she's a handful. So
yeah, well, I had my own mother and she passed away 10 years ago. And so that's that. So, I had a mother. Your mother is your mother. It's like, you disrespect my mom.
Oh, that's the best part.
Me.
That's the best part.
God.
And then he says that you guys will buy me pot. You'll buy me drugs, but you won't buy my mother something. I wanted so badly to tell him, that's right, you little hairy monkey.
Yeah. It just, I don't understand. Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, he is That oh my gosh.
I didn't say anything bad about you.
Just
Oh,
so
thank you.
that monumental sense of entitlement. And you know, he really thinks he's going to be able to sue and get a free ride. I mean, just wow. Just just wow. And
Yeah.
him having his mother overdraft her bank account, so he claims. But you know what? I totally think so. They're junkies. That's what junkies would do.
But I don't, is there were some of us kind of debating this in the chat the other day. I've been in Richard Cheese's chat more this week than I probably ever have in my life because I had a slow work week. But he keeps using the word credit. Now we know he doesn't know what words mean. My favorite line from Princess Bride is that word. I do not think that word means what you think it means, and he does not know what words mean for sure. But did they like take a cash advance on a credit card they have? Because that's the only way they could have done it.
Yeah, because they would have had to use cash at the
Mm-hmm.
dispensary or a debit card.
Mm.
Well, I don't know because I've only been overdrafted once
What?
in my entire life, but do I mean can't won't a bank like
It depends on the institution. It depends on the credit facility. There's many, many, many obstacles there. You can overdraw a checking account. There are some that are set up in a way that you cannot overdraw.
well what I'm saying right, but what I'm saying is if you are like a repeat overdrafter, won't they like put that a restriction on you where you can't uh, over like
They'll restrict it to a debit card that they will restrict the amount that you can use it for. But most, if you continually have overdrafts, because they charge you fees for that, that's how
right
they make money as
right
a
right right.
company, then they will eventually close your account
So that's what I'm
and
saying.
they'll put a notice in the database where new customers, are signed in when
Yeah,
they open new customers, and it says this person cannot, um, you know, bank with us.
because I would just me personally, I would find it hard to believe that she's not one of those people who is like a habitual overdrafter.
No,
So
because she's not going to give her money to somebody else, right?
right,
She's not going to pay that fee.
right. Well,
That
not
money.
only that, but she knows she fucks herself if she does that continually. So
Mhm.
I don't know if I buy that she overdrafts anything because of that. I don't
So,
know. You know,
so
he thinks we're
the
all.
only other alternative is that the numbers he talks do not add up,
I'm sorry,
which
Liz. Say that
means
again.
I said I think the numbers he talks doesn't add up. Not where I think she gets more than he claims. I really do. Either either what Brett says is true and she gets a retard check for him. I
I
love the
mean,
way he
yeah,
That's
puts
what I
that.
believe.
that
I
I would.
love the way he puts that. That
Yeah,
that Ellen gets a retard check for Connie.
yeah.
That's what I think. I think that it is not him being like custodian of her welfare. I think that she is his custodian.
He needs a keeper.
Yeah.
Well, we're his keeper.
No,
You know
no, hell
that
no.
that's how she uses us. Is that we literally are his both his babysitter, his mother, his absentee father, and the abusive stepdad that doesn't like lazy, no good, entitled brat
Yeah.
children.
Did nobody else notice when he was showing his phone, the screen, and trying to prove that people were calling his mom when it was actually him? He had at least four different financial institutional apps on his phone, and he had one or two apps that pay you to leave reviews or to do
Answer
gaming.
emails.
Yeah.
and play games. I think it was Dirt Guy that pointed that out about the pay for the games.
Yeah. See, Richard said he noticed it too.
Yeah. Liz, are
So
you there?
he's watching the
Yeah, I'm
movie.
here. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't have a credit card. She doesn't.
I don't think so. The only way that she would have a credit card is if she had one of the ones that have a security deposit. So it's not actually a credit card, it's your own money that you can use to places that only accept credit cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know a lot more about the dispensary shit than I do. I haven't smoked in years, and he was going on today about the cost of a pack of papers. I'm like, don't know, don't fucking care. I don't need no fucking papers.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, I believe that what y'all say that they can't use. I'm guessing y'all are meaning they can't use like a debit card or whatever it's cash only at
That's
a
what several
dispensary.
people were saying, that you cannot use credit.
I think maybe, I don't know if it's some you can use a debit card, but you cannot use a credit card because credit cards are federally insured and marijuana is federally illegal.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know.
So,
The plight of the destitute entitled pothead is not really of my concern. I don't know.
No, they're giving us some good information in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Alexander, he needs to purchase the food and it not be fish sticks or chicken McNuggets or hot dogs or any of those things that we ate when we were 5.
What about French toast sticks? What are you talking about? No French toast sticks? I'm gonna get angry.
He needs to purchase some good food and ingest it.
If you use your debit card at that dispensary, do they charge a fee, like an ATM fee? Because like here, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just had a thought. I'm sorry. It's my own manic brain at work here.
Yeah.
That his taste in food.
Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah, please don't, because I'm almost ready to go to bed. No, I'm just kidding.
He is so bougie.
Yeah, he's a bougie little bitch.
Well, he also, he just the way he talks, how he likes certain, he has a child's palate.
Yeah.
He has a child's palate. And that is one of the legitimate things that lend to the theory of him being autistic.
Yeah, Richard, I was going to say, because like here, you can go to 7-Eleven and you can withdraw up to like $10 without paying an ATM fee. So I was wondering if they basically do the same thing at the dispensary, where it is the same as cash coming out. You would think that the vendor would charge something for the transaction, but not the dispensary as the vendor. I'm talking about whoever their monetary vendor
yeah,
is.
because there's a lot of places, like especially small places, that you could use debit or credit card, like some of the nail salons, but they're going to tack on a fee to it because they prefer you give them cash.
Yeah, transaction fee or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Exactly. But it slays me because I remember him telling me things like, well, I've got to get my bottled Coke. I really only like the bottled. And when he would call me in the morning freaking out about coffee before he could start his show, and he was like, but I've got to have this coffee or that coffee. And he called me one morning and he had accidentally broken the coffee carafe. He lost his ever-loving mind.
Yeah.
I walk him through how to go buy a new carafe.
Well, y'all remember when he ran out of gas and he was screaming her name. He was going, "Star, I don't know what to do." He was. It was.
They played that today.
Oh, did they?
Made me a little sick.
When he ran out of gas?
No, it wasn't when he ran out of gas. It's when the phone I gave him had a manufacturer's update. And he
Oh.
thought somebody wiped the phone.
Oh, I thought he ran out of gas. What time am I thinking of? I can't remember.
That's probably somebody else. It wasn't me. No. I've got tons of stories. I've held back a lot of crap just to see if I need to release it.
Wait, what was Spoongate? I don't remember Spoongate. Yeah, he did used to brag about having Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Well,
that shit ain't cheap.
no.
I don't know that. And neither are them razors to shave that fucking face. Listen, I haven't shaved since September of 2019.
And I can attest to that.
Haven't had a haircut either.
Oh, he's probably one of those little bitches that spends $20 on razor blades.
Well, fuck you, Liz. You almost don't have a choice. They're fucking expensive. Me myself, I prefer the Gillette Mach 3. Was my favorite razor ever.
They have a Mach 5 now.
I know. And Mach 5, are you kidding me? Like, look, they just put a lawnmower on your fucking face, you know. But yeah, Mach 3, those things, I don't even, obviously I haven't looked at the price in years. But shit, I remember 20 years ago, them fuckers, I was so mad at how much they cost. It was like $12 to $15 for three fucking, 3 blades.
Well, it's a good thing you don't use my shower. Yeah. I have 5 different razors in there because I want a tight shape on my legs.
I like the look I got.
Sometimes women buy different razors because you buy whatever blades are on sale.
Yeah. They share the razor she shaves her chin hair with. Oof. Yikes. Months of that jingling spoon and the Pyrex measuring cup he drank from. I know.
That's one of the things you told him. You need to bring back the spoon jangle.
Yeah, what happened to that? And I think he broke that fucking measuring cup.
Probably so.
I think he broke it. There was something else. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. Well, Richard was talking about the tire incident. Was it the tire? I just remember leaving work one day and he was fucking flipping the fuck out. He was out somewhere. I thought he ran out of gas.
He did run out of gas one time, and we were stunned that he walked to the gas station because he was right in front of a gas station. Is what he told me.
Well, he had just left a gas station. Yeah. I don't know, man. The dude's fucking nuts. Gillette out here scamming. Yeah, no shit. Well, that's what Voodoo was saying, was that maybe he uses an electric razor, but I think that shave, when he does shave, is entirely too close for an electric razor. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, it looks like he's 10.
He always looks slightly unshaved to me.
Well, like I said, he's probably not even done shaving, and he needs to reshave. Like, it just fucking.
Yeah, because I think he's a hairy little monkey.
That's what I call him.
He looks like Ellen fucked a gorilla.
Ooh.
especially when he had that Pocahontas thing going on.
Oh yeah, well that was awful.
I saw an image on Richard Cheese's in my feed, and Richard, he had a do-rag on. I was like, what the hell?
Oh yeah, he thought he was thug as fuck, little wannabe bone thug.
He's one of those people that, like, one of those dudes, like, at my work, you know, I know other men in the chat have seen this, or possibly are perpetrators of this, but, you know, some of you dudes that got, like, shit tons of, like, very coarse, thick, black fucking gorilla hair covering like you're wearing a fucking fur suit. You know what I mean? like I don't know what it is, man. You can't help but like when you pull your shirt up or you unzip
Like
your
my
pants
son-in-law.
or,
God.
or or whatever, man. You're fucking leaving arm hairs, you're leaving pubes, you're leaving chest hairs. They're all over the fucking toilet, the urinal, the floor, the fucking toilet paper roll, the
Gosh,
goddamn
God.
the fucking sink.
Clown.
You know what I mean? They're fucking everywhere.
Clown.
He's one of those dudes. I would be in his face telling him, motherfucker, you better fucking, I don't know what you got to, you better nair that fucking shit, or you and I are gonna be in a fucking fist fight. You know what I mean? I'm tired of fucking sweeping up your fucking hairs
Yeah.
everywhere. Oh, right, because I've got a lot of hair.
Yeah, I'm tired of vacuuming up your fucking hair.
I'm gonna be quiet now.
And y'all have to understand, he has beautiful, beautiful hair. It's naturally blonde, and he's got some gray in there, and it's thick as all get out, and it's fucked up every vacuum cleaner in my house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you've got more hair than Connie, huh?
Mhm.
Oh, I've got a
thought
lot
you
more.
Yeah, I thought you were old as fuck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's going bald.
Oof, that's sad.
What is it?
What?
You know, it wasn't too long after he shaved his head that
Oh, the haircut. Oh my god.
that I got him to take his cap off on stream to try and prove his hair wasn't thinning.
Oh my god.
I trolled him into taking his cap off.
Oh. Well, what happened to his hair last week? What the fuck was that?
Oh. It looked like he spurred while
He looks
was
like he
shaving.
has mange. Like, you know how animals get like what they call hot spots? You know what I mean? Well, they'll like chew on their elbow or something.
Yeah.
That's what that looked like. It looked like a fucking hot spot. And the thing is, it's like that's a hot spot that animal can't reach. Another animal would have had to agitate that fucking hot spot. And the only other animal is the cheese hog. I don't know, man. It's lice. God. Oof.
I told him Ellen did that shit to him on purpose.
Sometimes I wonder if Ellen like trolls his ass that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know she doesn't respect him.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
I love it when I'm listening to a stream and I hear one of them cue each other to do crazy. That is my favorite part.
I'm telling you, I agree with Brett 100% about like the dynamic, what would actually bring in donos. You know, whether it's Ellen taking control and making Connie dance or vice versa. Either way, Ellen needs more involvement. You know,
Yeah. He needed more he needed her to be involved more if he ever wanted any money.
yeah, for sure.
Because she is like the Greek Mrs. Wallowitz. Fucking shit you not.
She may be a racist piece of shit, but she's got her funny moments, you know.
I mean, I'm sorry, it is racist as fuck, but there was just something for random Negro crossing the street. Just the way she said it, it was just the way she said it.
But it's the certain things that like she'll go off about, like when they were at court, and she was like, these fat Irish pricks, you know. She was like, what, they call this a courthouse? What, this is a joke? There's not even any columns. They call this a courthouse? These Irish pricks wouldn't know a courthouse if it bit them in the ass. Yeah, but turns out they were in the back of the courthouse, not the front of the courthouse where the columns would normally be. And then I think I could swear, if I remember right, I heard her in the background. She was like, "Oh, there's the columns." I'm like, "Oh my god, man!"
Yeah, Ellen is 1,000 times more interesting than Connie,
and he fucking knows it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I gotta say, I mean, in spite of her being what she is, I like the name Ellen. Ellen is my middle name. It was my grandmother's name. So, you know,
listen, if I could have my dream YouTube scenarios, right? There'd be two things. It would be Ellen in control of his channel and a daily, like, I don't give a fuck if she's on there 12 hours a day. You like he is. But with him just, doing whatever and saying whatever, but it's Ellen. And Rick Crude and Lady Di in a retirement home,
Jesus
breakfast,
Christ.
lunch, and dinner.
Mm-mm.
I want from the time they wake up
No.
until the time they go to sleep, dealing with the orderlies and the nurses and all of that kind of shit, the crazy shit you would hear getting hollered back and forth down the hallway. You know what I mean? As the juice cart passes by, those are the two things I would just, that would be great.
I would not watch that, but I would watch them beat each other's ass. I'm much more.
I know
violent.
I'm a sick motherfucker. I know.
She yeah, but yeah, Ellen is 1,000 times more interesting than him, and he knows it. He knows she's more entertaining. She is before, I don't know, before she probably drugged herself away, she probably wasn't as stupid as him.
No.
Well, no. I mean, she's managed to, like, I don't even know, man. I don't want to say it. I don't.
Because, I mean, his childlike understanding of the law is going to be his downfall.
Oh,
in
yeah.
his trial.
Yeah.
It's going to be his downfall, because you know what he is going to be like? He is going to be an angry version of that guy in A Few Good Men who didn't understand why they weren't.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
he is going to be an angry version of that guy. He's not going to understand. You're not going to be able to make him understand, and he's going to be enraged.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So, I mean, you have to know that his attorney has probably told him to get the fuck offline. Get the fuck off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's not going to do it.
And he's not going to do it because he ain't no slave, yo.
Yo.
But I feel so sorry if it's a public defender or somebody that's doing their pro bono hours. But
yeah.
Man,
or woman,
or woman is probably got the patience of Job to put up with that shit.
I mean, look, they can pass that buck off. I mean, all the DA or his public defender has to do is file a motion to recuse with the DA, and then they'll both go before the judge, and they'll just explain it to the judge. And the fucked up part for him is that the judge already is aware of his behavior online and offline in multiple different courts. There's literally nothing about his trial coming up that is going to go his way. Absolutely nothing. It's all state witnesses and him throwing himself on the ground outside of the courthouse and violating harassment orders multiple times from multiple people. So, yeah, I mean, there's literally nothing he can do. But at the same time, that's why I say what I say about it. Sometimes I wonder if he's just trying to get it to where he just goes and serves the time or whatever it is and just gets it over with real quick, and then doesn't have to do any community service or be on paper, because it really, at the end of the day, whether he took the plea or whether he goes to trial, it's the same result. It's absolutely the same result.
Maybe we should tell him to contact Recaita Law and see if they'll cover it.
Maybe Recaita Law will cover it. Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious. Recaita Law would laugh us right off the internet.
Or if they knew anything about him, they would be like, okay, we got an asshat for you.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody knows anything about Ethan Routh, and that whole fucking saga, kind of what Rick Crude was saying tonight about Abe, and how crazy motherfuckers on the internet will absolutely come and tie you up, bounce you out of your cozy little existence like a basketball into a trash can. Look at Ethan Routh. They traveled the fucking world to hunt that motherfucker down and beat his ass in a foreign country. So,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes this shit ain't no fucking joke.
No, no.
And he runs around crying wolf. All these people are following me. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're doing the other. He hasn't truly had his collar felt. But you get what you get. Like I said, in my opinion, you have every right to do what you're doing, Rebel. Every single right. You are
But we also
exercising.
have the right to do what we're doing.
That's exactly that's exactly right.
We have the right to not donate. We have the
Yep.
right to tell people not to donate because of what you do to people who donate. We have the right to restream you. We have the right to laugh at you. We have the right to mock you, to satirize you. And not only that, it's not just a right, it is a protected, cherished
Mhm.
First Amendment right. It is part of the Constitution, Connie. And you you have a child's understanding of the law. You do.
Mhm.
A child's understanding. And it's just like your understanding of everything else, like you and your mother's understanding of how the laws in your state worked in regards to your grandmother's house. I
Mhm.
mean, you don't get it. You thought you were going to get that HO on El Sancho. And who got the HO? El Sancho got the HO on you, buddy.
Yep.
Because he can't control himself.
Yep.
I mean, if you had not been all so fired up to get an HO that you shouldn't have, you weren't entitled to because you weren't threatened in any way, you would not be in the trouble that you're in now.
No.
Because there would have been no on the ground at Stoughton incident. There would have been no HO that you would be on trial for violating. There would be none of that. But you thought you were entitled to something that you were not actually entitled to. And now you fucked around and found out, buddy.
And who knew a Massachusetts window liquor would be so entertaining?
Yeah.
For free, nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, he's lost every time in court. I mean, the only reason why you got off with the whole thing with Bird's mom uh, was because they ultimately dropped it. Didn't want to put her through having to come out there and testify against you. That's the only reason it got dropped.
You see what Richard
And
Cheese said?
Yeah.
and I mean, you really need to stop listening to the people in your ear thinking that they're going to help you evade what's going to happen.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, y'all, I'm gonna bring this to a close. Liz, have you had or do you have any plans on making your way to the state fair this year?
No.
No.
I'm a big time homebody. He's
Yeah.
also, I like to stay at home. My husband and I, we spend a lot of time together here at the house, and we're just homebodies, I guess.
We are too. And but Voodoo, she's never been, and I haven't been in God like 30 fucking years.
I've been to a million drunk Louisiana state fairs. What's Texas going to be the difference?
Well, it's one of those things
Everything's bigger
where
and better in Texas.
that's you damn Skippy. And listen, if nothing else, just for the food, and
Oh, please. I'm from Louisiana.
she
Yeah, well,
hear this all the time.
they've got their own kind of great food. It's not like we don't, though.
Yeah.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Y'all's great food is different from our great food.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard many times from coworkers since I moved here that I could get any fried cream or gummy bear or whatever I wanted fried in a stick.
Yeah, just fried. It's fried. I shouldn't be eating that shit, but it's an experience, and I haven't been in a long time, and I'd really like to go. But and I was even saying on a live stream the other day before it opened, I was like, yeah, I really want to go, but I probably won't because that's just what happens every year. And then I heard last weekend they had a fucking shooting, and I'm like, God,
See,
yeah,
wow.
see, there you go.
See,
I shouldn't even have
people,
mentioned that.
When I know that there's going to be a lot of people somewhere, that automatically tells me I don't want to go. I don't like people. I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, well, you know how it is, Liz.
Yes, you're nice.
But yeah.
Oh, well, actually, I do know
weather.
how it is because I think I kind of identify more with Voodoo Queen. When I picked my second career field, I ultimately was aiming for something that would not have me front facing, that would not have me dealing with people, and would not have me on the phone more than 10% of the time.
Yeah. I'd probably have better luck like dragging her to the Galleria Mall, another place I haven't been in like 30 years.
No, we'll go to Highland Park.
No, North Park.
North
I
Park.
refuse.
I like North Park.
I refuse.
love North Park.
Nope.
Liz will go to North Park.
Yeah, you and Liz can go hang out.
Yes.
North Park. I love North Park Center.
No.
I think it's a beautiful mall.
And we're going to go to Sephora.
No.
Yep.
No. North Park, because of that hideous fucking jackalope fucking
they have beautiful displays.
art sculpture piece of crap they have in the middle of that mall. Nope, fuck that place.
Actually, I'm not referring to the art. The Nasher art collection I can do without.
That thing is
I am referring to just the very tasteful aesthetic of the mall.
Yes. You know, Diptyque has their own store over there now.
The Galleria has an ice skating rink.
I don't care.
Ice skating rink. That is so. You're talking about the difference. You're talking about the difference between middle class money and upper class old money.
I didn't say it. Liz did. I didn't say it.
I mean, that's when you're comparing. If you're comparing the Galleria to North Park, that is what you are comparing. You are comparing newer, upper middle class, young, urban, Colleyville style money to Highland Park.
I like Highland Park.
Listen,
now
I've
never dragged you to any of those places.
I just want to spend time with you, honey.
Aww.
I grew up, okay, near the Lake Highlands High School Skyline area. I'm very well aware.
Hurry up, get to it.
I'm very well aware of Highland Park. Okay. I used to work in the Galleria years ago.
Yep.
You might have heard of a little store called Roberto's. Yep. I sold Jason Garrett him and his wife's luggage in like 1994.
Isn't that a shitty coach?
No.
He wasn't a shitty coach?
We didn't sell Coach.
I said he was a shitty coach.
Oh, yes, he was a shitty coach.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, if you're talking about Jason Garrett, yeah, he was a shitty coach.
Yes. No, I sold them Hartman.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay.
Luggage.
Oh, did you work? Oh my God. You and I did the same thing.
Oh, really?
I was a store manager for Bag and Baggage, and you're talking about Roberto's, which was purchased by Bag and Baggage later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I used to be a store manager for Bag and Baggage.
I was a store manager for Roberto's.
Yeah. And so I sold Toomey and Hartman and all of that.
Gold File.
French.
Mont Blanc pins.
Yes. Small world, huh?
Crazy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
very small world. Yeah, upscale luggage and leather goods.
Hmm. Oh yeah. So I'm a little partial to the Galleria. Uh, Plus, those things are fucking they're relics now.
You know what I like?
We just don't have, all the malls have been torn down. We just have Galleria in North Park. I don't know what y'all got over on the west side. Yeah,
Uh,
I think like Redbird is like our the Mesquite fucking town east. Like don't go there unless you want to get murdered. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, in Fort Worth, you have the smaller Hewlin Mall, which is just it's just very unimpressive. Um, as far as I'm concerned for shopping.
yeah,
The biggest malls are going to be the ones towards the middle. They're going to be Parks at Arlington, and
parks.
they're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
be they're a Northeast Mall.
yeah. And
Um,
y'all actually have something better over there, in my opinion. I love to bowl. I've bowled almost my entire life, and we don't over here on the east side. All the bowling alleys, if it's not like one of those pin stack places, I hate bowling on synthetic lanes. I love wood lanes.
yeah.
And all of the places that had wood lanes are gone over here, and over there on the west side. Whenever we go through like Irving, Arlington, all the way to like Saginaw, Weatherford, Sanger, places like that, all over, on basically just the entire west side. I see bowling alley after alley after bowling alley, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to fucking stop and go check it out and see if they've got lanes. Because some of, or wood lanes, because some of them look like it's still 1974. You know what I mean? I think there's one place left over here on this side in Allen that I could probably go to, if it's even still open.
The
But
Allen Outlet Mall has got a couple of nice places, but you some of the places you've got to dig for. Like you've got to look at the map before you go over there.
yeah,
Plus, you don't want to get shot.
Yeah. I mean, but I worked at several of the malls when I did retail
yeah,
in Tarrant County. Uh, Probably worked at Northeast the longest out of
yeah.
all of them. We do have one that's going to be torn down. That's our version. Well, I don't know that it's going to be torn down. It's not been sold or auctioned off or closed down or anything like that. But I mean, it's on its deathbed, and it's our own version of Redbird, and it's Ridgemar.
Yeah.
Ridgemar has several empty anchors, and the Dillards is now a Dillard's clearance center, occupying one floor of the anchor.
Oh
There's
wow.
Yeah. So, the Neiman's is gone. It moved over to Clear Fork, which is the new super upscale Fort Worth North Park Center,
Gotcha.
which is an open air lifestyle center. It is not a traditional mall, but it is nothing but upscale. There's the Neiman's, there's a Tiffany's, there may be a Louis Vuitton. I'm not. There's other just very very high end upscale shopping, and so the Neiman's is gone. The Macy's closed years ago. Um, the Sears, of course, Sears is gone, and then they downsized the Dillards, and there's just Pennies that's left. So,
Pennies is still there?
That's shocking.
yes,
I am shocked by that. I
I'm
thought they
shocked.
were gone.
Apparently not, but it just,
Wow.
yeah, it's
We'll have to go out
and
there just for that.
I mean, I think it may even have an entry on Dead Malls.
Wow.
It may have an entry on Dead Malls. If not, it definitely has. There's definitely a Dead Malls video on Ridgemar.
Wow.
I mean, it is the textbook definition of a dead mall. with nothing but third and fourth tier retailers in the malls part and no anchors.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's I know Collin Creek Mall up on 75, just outside of Richardson. They're tearing it down,
Yeah,
and they've been tearing it down for
forever.
like 2 years. It seems like maybe, and I was over there
Still
not.
haven't been tearing it down as long as they've been trying to get Valley View down.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, Valley View was going away back in like 1996. Like what the hell? And then Prestonwood Mall is gone. I think it's gone.
Oh, it's been gone for a
Yeah,
long time.
Prestonwood's been gone, but
Yeah,
Valley
they've
View was
already built
going.
new stuff over where that used to be. I mean,
Yeah,
that,
Valley View was going before Prestonwood, is from what I remember.
yeah,
And Prestonwood's like, you can't. It's crazy how they can change the landscape, and you can't even remember what the fuck it looked like before.
right. But I mean, what they did, the way they left that Valley View carcass standing there,
Yeah,
dear God.
it's horrid. Like, what the hell happened there? I don't even know.
Yeah, the
And
same
that's
thing they did. They also did the same thing in Arlington with the old Six Flags Mall.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. They did.
I mean, just whenever a mall carcass just sits there and rots, my God.
See, she doesn't know what we're talking about because she's not from around here.
We're talking about dead malls.
Yeah.
We're talking about dead malls, malls that used to be in the area, and the whole dead mall phenomenon in general. I mean, just,
I like
yeah.
Connie's mouse. Connie's mouse is hilarious.
I
But
ate a lot of cinnamon toast stick crunch, squeak, squeak.
no, Dave was saying the other day in Richard's chat about what the fuck was that cereal? Was it Count Chocolate? No, no, it was like it's a chocolate cereal that's like it's like fish food flakes, but I can't
Oh,
remember.
it's chocolate Rice Krispies, probably.
No, it
Cocoa
wasn't.
Krispies.
It doesn't matter, but it was
Cocoa.
the day that he was saying something about this mouse. He was gonna stomp it with his Timberland boot or something, and Dave made a comment about that cereal, and I was like, "That's probably why he's mad because they found out that wasn't fucking cereal; it was rat shit, Cocoa
One of my
Pebbles."
babies threw up in his bag this afternoon.
Count Chocolate. I don't know. It was one of those. I
It,
can't remember.
kid cereal.
Yeah. Sometimes you guys have me fucking dying reading the
The
chat.
socks. Sometimes the socks are the best part.
Oh yeah, totally, totally. We called it on different platforms and forums and stuff. We called it imping, impersonating. But some of them are fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? It's they're not even really taking like you know b- horrible shots at people.
Oh my gosh. See, a lot of you are not aware of all the Swedish sugar lore in the
No, I don't
community.
know anything about it.
No, I don't know a lot about it either.
Which was what I thought was so hilarious about Connie talking about how people could help Swedish sugar.
Oh god.
Swedish sugar is almost as roundly despised, regardless of what faction that you're in, whether you're Tonic's friend or Rada's friend or whose friend.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of what side you're on, Swedish sugar is a figure that is about as roundly despised as Connie.
Yeah.
Extremely divisive. She has a history in this community that is not good. And, you know, yeah, I used to have a sock. And it was because she acted so obsessive during her relationship with Joe Cool
Yeah.
to the point of popping up on panels calling women lot lizards and screaming at them.
Do you see what
But which is the irony of her being buddies with Paige or Shelley or Paige or Shelley actually, because Kelly was the one who called the lot lizard.
Jesus.
Yes, yes. The history in this community would surprise you, and it- just oh God, just I had a Swedish sugar sock, and it was called Jealous as Fuck with F***. Because she was so jealous. She would get up on panels and uh, confront these women for even speaking to Joe. It was so
Are you
crazy.
serious?
Oh
Wow.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
so it's like Lady Di with Rick. Like she can't stand another woman to like talk to Rick at all.
Yeah, well, the thing with Joe and Swedish Sugar was that they were supposedly in some sort of relationship.
Right, right, right.
And it just, and then of course she brought their domestic squabbles up on panels
Ugh.
and would have she would get them, she would get her friend Polly to lure him up there,
Oh
and then
god.
she would spring up on panel to confront him and drag their dirty laundry.
Mm.
I mean, it was just, oh, I mean, you want to know, I mean, and that is just some of the milder stuff that she's been involved with. I mean, it just nobody wanted to help her, Connie. That was for a fucking reason. You idiot. Just
Jesus.
you fucking idiot.
Well, expecting him, I mean, to really understand like anything above a fucking seventh or eighth grade level, I mean, is a stretch
Yeah.
in my
Well,
opinion.
no, believe me, when I was in seventh or eighth grade, I wouldn't have come to the conclusions he has.
No,
Yeah, no, me neither.
no.
Me neither.
I'm telling you, that guy at the end of The Few Good Men.
Oof.
I mean, I mean,
Well, we're not
even
Marines anymore.
Are you talking about
yeah.
that D'Onofrio?
I mean that would be Connie. That is going to be Connie when he finds out that he is not going to be able to go to this trial and turn things around and make Andrew suddenly the defendant.
I don't know his real name, but the name in A Few Good Men was Private Loudon Downey. That's who she's talking about.
But yeah, that I mean, just even kind of the spaced look on his face,
Oh
just the
yeah.
lack, just the lack of the vacant, empty look and lack of understanding.
Well, Richard Cheese has one of the best the exact face that you're describing on his channel. It's the one that's up in the top left with the white baseball hat on. That's the face. That is the face you're talking about. Only the polarity of Rebel's face in that picture is a little bit like positive, stupid, and dumb. Where Loudon Downey in the movie had that at times, but at the very end, when he realizes that they're really for realsies, no longer going to be Marines, the polarity turns negative, right? And we see a lot of that in Connie, but it's more like malevolent and anger based.
Yeah, very
But that,
malevolent and anger based.
but that sort of stupid innocence that you're talking about in Loudon Downey's face in that movie, Cheese has it captured perfectly in that face up in the upper left hand corner of the
Do you
screen.
know one of the ironically enough, and I mean I'm not even bullshitting. One of my favorite Connie moments is the day he played Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid on his live stream.
Jesus.
I mean, and I'm not even lying. I'm not being ironic about this. I mean, Part of Your World is my favorite Disney song. And I identify a lot with it. And just he had just this just the joy in his voice when the song was over. I mean, it was one of the few times that I saw him actually happy about something that didn't have to do with getting a dono to go buy weed.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was it was just it was just you saw maybe a tiny glimpse of who he might have been were he not a shitbag.
Yeah,
Uh,
And
all that at times.
because it just I liked him there for a minute or two.
yeah.
And that's too bad.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys.
Well,
Liz, thank you so much for coming up. It is a very, very small world. It really is. I can't believe
yeah,
you
to
work. I
figure
can't
out
believe
that
you
we
work
did the
for Bag and
same
Baggage.
thing for a living.
I started at Bag and Baggage and then got moved to Roberto's.
Yeah, the Roberto's division. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great.
Because you're too nice.
I hated
Well,
it. I hate people, but I did get to meet. I met Pauly Shore. I met Ann Richards, the former governor of Texas. Um,
I like him.
RuPaul. I met RuPaul. RuPaul is gigantic.
Yeah, he's a tall,
That
tall man.
motherfucker is huge.
working in Fort Worth, I had more exclusive old money, non big famous name clientels because
Yeah,
at the time I was the manager over at Ridgemar and then later Hewlin. And what would my husband, however, was the manager of the outlet at Grapevine Mills because he also worked for Bag and Baggage.
oh,
He went to
okay.
work there as a manager after I did because we met working for the same company, and then right after we got married, they closed our store down.
Damn.
So I went to work first, and then a couple of months later, he was hired when they had an opening, and he managed the store out at Grapevine Mills. He got a lot of famous clientele, and he got to sell luggage to a lot of Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah. I sold some stuff to. I sold some stuff to Dennis Rodman. Um, there was quite a few of them come through there, man. It was crazy,
Yeah.
crazy
I
times.
didn't get the big famous name clientele. In fact, I would say my best client and probably the most well known in Fort Worth was the owner of Haltom's Jewelers.
Yeah,
So, and he liked me enough that when I transferred stores, because I moved to a higher volume store when I moved from Ridgemar over to Hewlin, when I got this phone call, it was during the holidays, and it was my old assistant at that store. She says, Elizabeth, she said, that Jack Miller from Halton's Jewelers was just in here. And when he saw that you weren't here, he was not happy that you were not here to hot stamp monogram his Toomey case.
I
He said, he's going to come over to Hewlin and buy some luggage from you, and he wants you to monogram it for him.
nice. I have a Boit bag that I keep my laptop and like.
Is that what you brought to the hospital?
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. I've
Yeah,
had
I
that
have some
sucker since
Hartman.
like 1995. That is,
I have some I have some Hartman luggage. And I
yeah.
also have yeah. And it's like they don't make luggage like that. It weighs like 10 tons compared to
Oh
the stuff
yeah.
they make now. And uh but I'm not throwing away. I mean, 20
No.
years ago it was a $700 bag.
Yeah, that shit ain't cheap, man.
That was lost on me in the hospital.
Yeah,
I've got over $10,000 worth of bags sitting here, and he brings my clothes in that, and I was so doped up, I was like, whatever, man, just whatever.
well, she's got like super expensive shit. Like we're talking about expensive stuff, right, Liz? And then she's got like Gucci and fucking I don't know. She can probably name like
Hermes.
Air what?
Hermes.
Whatever.
Oh,
I
oh,
haven't.
oh,
I
oh,
haven't been. I haven't been in the game in a
oh,
lot of
that
years.
that's beyond Gucci if you have Hermes.
And I'm like, I don't know what fucking bag to. So I mean, I know my boy bag. So I fucking dumped all the shit out of it and fucking threw her clothes and shit in there. Old reliable.
It was actually very sweet because I knew that that's what he did.
Well, I know y'all need to get away, so I will hop down.
All
Thank
right,
you for
Liz.
having
It
me.
was good talking with you.
Yeah, it was good talking with you, and I
Sure.
appreciate you coming up and having a chat. And it's good to get to know you a little bit, and everybody in chat really appreciate you being here and putting up with us talking about Connie once again.
I know, and the thing is I'm probably having a panel tonight, tomorrow, and it's probably going to be more drama, and because nobody comes to my non-drama panels, they don't want to hear my story about how I battled myself from the brink. They don't, and I know it's a little pretentious, but the past year has been just so great for me that I kind of want to help other people find success with it too.
You know,
So
Liz, we've got some stories like that too, and I got to tell you, as much as you want to tell it, like as much as I want to
I
tell,
won't.
I
I'll
can't.
tell you privately.
Yeah, privately that's different, but I like, you think it's something you really want to do, and well, I mean, I can tell you a short story real quick. We had another creator from a different part of YouTube approach us about this kind of thing, and specifically, she approached Voodoo, and we kind of,
I toyed with it.
rolled it back and forth and toyed with it for just a little bit, maybe a couple of weeks. But in that couple of weeks, what happened was that person was starting to change like their persona on YouTube
And their focus.
and then it just all went to shit, and they just turned out to be one of the most vile, nasty, disgusting, uh well, you know an addict, a person that's in desperately in need of both mental and physical health help. And before that had happened, I had told Voodoo, I said, absolutely don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Because this person, we talked about it. She was like, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And then after about that month, the 2 weeks prior and the 2 weeks after, and the all the aftermath and the fallout and the manufactured drama and the non-manufactured drama and all of that kind of shit, and some people getting their actual feelings hurt, the lies and the deceit and all that kind of shit. She was glad she didn't do it, and I was super glad she didn't do it, um, just because really, you know it violates some of our core beliefs, and traditions that we live by. So anybody that knows what I'm talking about. Um, because at the end of the day, I think, at least for me, and I'm not trying to speak for Voodoo here, this is just for me. If I'm going out there and I'm putting it out, well, then I feel like maybe I'm probably forcing it. Uh, Maybe not in a uh, pushy manner, but forcing it nonetheless, as opposed to the way that it's supposed to work, where somebody reaches out.
Yeah. And you probably understand what we're talking about, Liz. It's very different circumstances.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do by any stretch of the imagination. I love the idea of that kind of thing personally. Um,
I've just seen so many people hurt by trying to help other people and it get turned around on them. And
well, that happens in both.
well, yeah, real life.
That it just happens in life. I hate the distinction of real life and YouTube life. It's all real. Um, Just
Yeah, I've never ascribed to the whole people are just characters in a video game here. They're not.
yeah,
We're not. I've heard more than one person say that. It's a crack.
yeah,
Well, I think it's because those in particular people are trying to carry off that ruse.
yeah. I don't know. I just, yeah, I think it is a great idea, though. I think it's just a shame that it, for
It depends on what it is. You got to remember that we don't know
Well,
what this is talking about.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I have a cat I have to go deal with who's making some racket.
All right. Well,
Cobers.
give him
All
love and for us, and tell him we said
right.
we're voting for him come November.
Well, then, night, everybody.
All right. Good
Good
night, Liz.
night.
Thanks for coming up.
Bye.
Well, y'all, Connie's mouse. Are you making Connie's mouse is probably making trouble.
I don't know.
Is he still alive? Let's see what's he
I don't
doing.
know.
We all ought to, we could
It's too late for me.
we could raid him, but he we're all banned. So it would be like he took care of his mouse problem. If there are any more, I will let you know in the morning. Oh, that's what that avatar is.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Are you just now seeing it?
Yeah, I didn't look. Well, I mean, I saw the avatar, but I didn't look.
Oh, Connie's mouse got timed out.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
I hope not timed out by a fucking Timberland boot. That would be awful.
Oh Lord.
He is a horrible individual. Yeah, we're all blocked, Dave. Crock of shit.
It's okay.
All right. Well, y'all, again, thanks for coming by and listening to our bullshit and banter, and really appreciate y'all, and hope that y'all have a decent weekend. I don't really have to hope. I know all of you will have a decent weekend.
Because you're not on the internet begging for weed.
I mean, even if you're on the internet, you're probably not stuck having to beg for weed money. So, I mean, yeah, he'll be in Cheese's chat tomorrow because he loves cheese. Yeah, exactly. All right, Blues, Jessica, Dave, everybody that's still here but not chatting. Anonymous, who else is here?
His wrap ups take 10 minutes, I'll warn you.
No, it's not going to take 10 minutes tonight. All right, Six Banger, appreciate you, man. Sugar Crits, love you. Anybody else that I missed, I'm sorry. Oh, my eyes are so heavy right now. I'm so
Connie's
tired.
mouse wants a shout out.
Connie's mouse, squeak, squeak. There we go. That poor fucking mouse in that goddamn mouse trap. That is fucking.
God, don't let Bam see that.
Call PETA. Yeah, Bam, don't look at that.
Yes, please.
All right, y'all. Love y'all. Have a good night and have a good weekend.
Bye bye. Oh, I'm like a back.